Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You
Yeah?
can.
Okay, good. So I have two people in the room today, which is wonderful. And normally I wait here. So today is 3. So here's number 3, day 3. Can you guys give me a little signature here? Since I don't expect more than this, then just go ahead and sign in here and all right, so first sign so I can be done with that and not forget it. And then pipeline username and password is what you use to log in. And once you're in, I will help you download class files. Do you know your pipeline username first? I'm not sure if it's a case sensitive. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's case sensitive, but just in case it is, let's take that. And then let's see your trackball.
Never used one, so it'll be interesting. Maybe it needs.
Yeah, battery. And then this. And let's, oh, yes, they have a converter. Let's hope. Do not forget it.
Okay.
Keyboard sort of assistant. So.
There it goes.
Okay. So at first you have this one in case you
That's
can't.
a bigger one than I did.
So basically this is how you move it with this.
Okay, they're downloading, so I might.
Click, this is your right click and your left click.
Right, left. Okay. Good.
So when we say when we say regularly, you would regularly click with this part. And the few times that you need to do a right click, you would do this. But let me see, we need to set up the, hi guys, I'm coming. I'm just helping out here for a second. Let me see.
Now it automatically reads it.
One secondary click. Click right side. Yeah, it's working. Right click. Okay, so put your hand on it. Don't use these buttons. Go ahead and put your hand on it to where it's comfy, like whatever position you need for it to fit, you know, like that, like that. Like, so you move it like that. So, and then, so move this, say that you wanted to do something on that, right? So move it up to the, it'll take,
It's fasting.
so basically this,
Uh-huh.
before you do anything else, get accustomed to how this goes, okay?
Good.
And then once you put it where you want it, say that we want to right click on that,
Then I
right click on that.
Okay.
Or if you just wanted to do a regular click, then it's this one,
This one.
this one.
Now what's this
So
little guy here?
nothing, that's a scrolling wheel. So that is this, and
Okay.
this. So you need
Alright,
to
I'll
leave
play.
this. So put it, get yourself more comfortable, settled in a place where it's normal extension and put it in whatever position it needs to be so that it's comfy for you to put one finger there and one there.
Yeah, oh, my hand's so small. I
Yeah.
guess I can go anywhere.
You can just hopefully rest it. I remember my dad used it and it was wonderful. So you got in. Okay, so that one needs your username at pipeline.sbcc.edu.
Real coffee.
I'm coming, everyone at home. Give me a sec. We've got, oh, here's a new person. And who's new to the class too, so I need to pay a bit of attention to them. Hi, Eric. Hi, Samuel. Hi, Mike. Hi, Colette. I'm helping, we have a new student in class. She's not new, a new student. She's Rebecca, who's been in class forever, but she's in class today. And then Sue brought today a new mouse, a trackball, and I'm helping her with that. So I'll be with you guys in a sec. Go ahead and head over to the chat and give a little hey ho that you're here. And then make sure you've posted, if you haven't yet posted anything in the Padlet, go ahead and do that. But otherwise, I'll be with you guys in a sec. Let me put the Padlet link here. on the chat for everyone. Um, it's in the Padlet, paste, there we go. Okay, give me a sec, and I'm going to actually access, since there's two people here, I'm going to access today the I'm going to access from my other computer. I want to switch. I want us to get in here. Funny. Why is it making put in the meeting ID? It's bizarre. I'm gonna. Okay, can somebody hear me now? I need to know whether, if no one's saying yes, then I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes, Mike's saying yes. Okay, good. All right. I just had to reset up the connection. I was in here and then I had to go back to get my other computer. That way now you can see the classroom, which right now looks kind of empty. There's only two, but hey, Sue and Rebecca, turn around and say hi to the class because now they can see you. Hey. Oh, there's the, that's the camera. It's way over there. And I have, I know, isn't it fun? Let me put this back.
Oh,
But you know what? Maybe let me leave it out so you don't
That one.
forget
take that. And
Let
where
me
does
see
it
that.
go?
that you tick it out and you
Stick it right
stick it in there and then you close that.
Okay.
So that might be helpful. And this was just to get the battery to go. Okay. Cool. So, one last thing I need to do, which is get Rebecca her class files onto the computer. What's happening? Oh,
It doesn't like my first name, last name,
but you got in.
my birthday.
No, wait. But you got in. So whatever you got in is what you need. So I don't know why you're needing more. Hold on. No, this isn't Ruby 49. It's RK, whatever. It's your,
Well, I did that and it said that was my first strike. And then that's password. And
you have two C's. Is that correct?
yeah, Santa Barbara City College.
RK 923 number. Okay, but you just did that to get into the.
Already.
Let's try this. Let's try it again. Let's try it. Maybe this wasn't correct. So Yeah, Google here. Oh, that could be. I mean, and now here put in rk@pipeline.sc.edu. Maybe you didn't put the whole thing. At pipeline. .svcc. .edu. So if over here it was taking you there, expecting like that, this might have been typed wrong or whatever. Okay, now just RVK. Okay, password. Sure, check it. All good. Okay, so now this is the problem because you've got 4 times and you won't be able to.
That's 3 already, so.
Well, it has 3, so now the next will be. And you're sure this is how it is, not big CC, uppercase CC?
I wrote it down. This is the other password. But that's for
For what?
college buys and social.
Okay, but it's not the one you, so the one you walked into, when you open this computer, you use these 2? So that's the one that shouldn't be working. Uh-oh, because that's not good, because if that doesn't work, you can't use Photoshop. So right next door, they handle these kind of things, and they're still there. And before, just tell them you already have 3,
Strikes.
and let's see if they can help you. Otherwise, I'm sorry. Sorry, but Rebecca came to be in person and suddenly she's having issues with the password, although one made it in, the second one, she can't use Photoshop if her password doesn't go in. And so, okay. Meanwhile, sorry about that. Hi, everyone. Let me see. Hi, Ed. I let you in while I was dealing with all these things. So now ready to go. All right. So welcome back. Let me go ahead and let me see who's here. Mike. Oh, I already said hi to Eric, Samuel, Colette, Ed, and Mike. Ah, they're closed. Next, they just closed. I sent Rebecca to get help next door. Oh man, I don't want to. Sorry, she couldn't get password help. Does that mean how far are you from home? Okay.
Well, and the traffic going down. Yeah.
Rebecca can't get in. We have 2 more to try, but if nothing changes, it makes no sense. She's gonna have to go all the way home, which is half hour, so she's gonna miss the class. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to another computer next to you and try again, username and password, and see if perchance, because that's what you did before, and if it fits in there, then there's something else going on. Okay. All right. Sorry, I keep trying to troubleshoot this. This is one of the problems with Hyflex computers, just the username. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Everyone put in all of their work that they did in class, so thank you. And then Mike, you caught up with the stuff that you had missed, so thank you for that too. Let me refresh. And then most of the people didn't put anything new other than classwork, which is good that you did the classwork. But I did want to mention that over here, wait, Mike, I thought I had seen your new work. How did you put it? Is it just not refreshing? But I had seen your work. This was 3 days ago, and where's the new stuff? People had put new stuff up. Anyway, meanwhile, Ed did an update on his work. And I'm distracted I'm distracted with trying to help people here and there, and this is confusing because normally that usually happens earlier. So anyway, you guys remember that Ed, and let me just write over here in this section, I'm gonna look for Ed. That way I have only Ed's. Ed A, let me do that. That way I have only Ed's. Okay, so some time ago, oh, but where's your original? See, something's missing. You had posted the original as well. Some of the stuff isn't downloading. Anyway, so a few days ago, Ed had put this photo up that he had worked on. Remember, and we had some conversations about the little halo around the bird, things like that, and that it was a bit flat and dark in the foreground or whatever. Anyway, he reworked on it. He reworked it, meaning he went and changed everything he did, and he explained everything he did, which are things that, you know, pretty much we haven't in this particular class yet done camera raw. So a few people, maybe Eric, if you haven't done camera raw, but you've done Lightroom, so you do know camera raw, and everyone else has done camera raw with me somewhere else. So here he explained what he did. He went into camera raw as a filter, and then he worked on the, you know, vibrance, dehaze, contrast, whatever, and he cropped it pretty differently. And this is his result, and I think it's much more attractive. It's much more to the point, to the spot. Contrast, it doesn't look murky gray. It just looks like a gray day, but not like bullet day. The clouds are great, and I see you got just rid of that bird that was a problem.
Yep.
So yay for reworking things, right?
Yep.
Anything in particular you want to say? You mentioned that you're going to try out giving it a super size. And I mentioned, oh, let me know how that works, because
So
I have
again, it
quite a
was,
bit
it,
out.
yeah,
He
it was an
had posted
HRIC,
the
so
original.
it's pretty
I don't know
small.
why some of the stuff isn't loading, because he had posted the original and it's not here now. And you could see that it was quite a bit of a crop. This isn't the original. This one I was already.
No, I
actually
did post the
very
original.
on here, and he turned it into a pretty thin portion of the image is what he's using. Let me refresh one more time to see if I get.
Huh.
Let me close this and open it again. See if it let me sign in again.
Huh.
Sign up, log in.
It shouldn't have
See if
made
it
you.
refreshes. For some reason, it's not refreshing. I know that some of you guys have already.
Huh.
What?
Why is it making you sign back in? It shouldn't be.
Oh, here comes someone really new to us, to our class. Well, for some reason, it's not. I know that you guys posted something sooner than this. Unless, did you take it down? Your original? No, there's something missing here. Anyway, let me stop the share so I can welcome Paula. And hi, Paula.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I struggle so
Can't
much
hear
to
you.
get everything
Is
done.
the sound down?
Can you hear me?
Can somebody else speak to make sure whether it's Paula or Paulette, someone who's spoken before? Can you please
Hello,
speak?
hello.
Well, something's wrong with the sound.
Hi. I can hear everyone else. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can you speak again?
Hello. Hello,
Okay,
hello.
there you go. I was just in a class 2 seconds ago, all morning. Okay, somebody just keep talking for a bit while I try different audios. See if I
Okay.
can hear you guys.
Hello,
Hello, hello.
hello.
Hello, hello.
Nope,
Gonna
not hearing
sing,
you.
won't work well.
I was just, wow, how can this happen? Another speaker.
Hello, how's it going? Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
I'm hearing you really tiny over here now.
I am speaking.
Okay, can you guys say something?
Yeah,
Hello,
sure.
voice. Hello.
Hear you like way over there, which is better than nothing.
Um,
Okay, speak again.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello?
What happened to the,
Okay.
what happened to the output?
That's okay. Thank you.
Wow. Worst case scenario, I'll have to hear you through this computer. Let me join audio on this computer, which is ridiculous, but at least I'm able to hear you.
Maybe the volume.
Let me close this audio completely.
All right, can you guys say something now?
Hello.
Hello?
Okay, this is weird. I can hear you through this little laptop sound. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear everyone in the classroom, but I don't know
Hello, hello?
why my computer decided to not suddenly have sound when I just finished a 4-hour class and everyone could hear each other really well. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
So
Can hear
bizarre.
you.
All right, and I can hear you really weird and tinny through this 2012 weird laptop that I have here just to run the second monitor. But I don't know what's happening and I'm just gonna continue with the class. This is good enough. As long as you can hear me, this is what we'll do because I don't know. I have my little lapel microphone and everything, but it's not working. I don't know. Okay, is it working, Rebecca? Were you able to get in on the other computer though? No. So if you can't, then something's wrong with the username or password. Like the mistake you made in getting in correctly the first time to this computer is what you need to do again. You know what I mean? Not gonna say that password. No, but what I'm saying is you got into this computer and if you're trying to get into that one and it's not going in, then something's wrong with what you're writing now that you did wrong the first time and somehow got in, like some memory. Okay, I'm gonna let you do that while I greet Paula, who is new to our class, and I want to check in with her for a minute. So sorry, guys, between the sound and the fact that someone's having an issue with the computer here in class, I'm like, hi, Paula, and I'm moving on. But no, hi, Paula.
Hi.
Nice to, and I'm talking to you there, but the sound.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can talk to you there. So, I just found out that she was in class just a bit earlier today, so I sent you the information. Did you get a chance to read any of it or?
Yeah, listen, no, I just had the chance to I was able to, to enter Photoshop, to log in, to do the
Okay, so you're on VDI?
factor authentication. I'm able
Okay.
to access Drive and Photoshop, but I
Okay.
wasn't able to watch the previous class.
That's
And
okay.
I
So then
wasn't able to
I'll
do
help
any
you
of
catch
the
up.
homework.
As long as you have Photoshop open and you're in VDI.
Yes, the rest I
that's
had
it.
I had the chance.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll help you. Wherever we start, and then you'll catch up. As
Okay.
is last week, since a lot of people who are in this class have been in Photoshop before, I was doing something very specific and it wasn't like
Okay.
just about Photoshop, it was a very specific tool in Photoshop. So just to know, because now I kind of know where everyone else is. Hi, Tatiana, by the way, you joined me also when I was in the middle of all this stuff. Just to know, Paula, have you done Photoshop before or is this your first time ever? Okay. So
No.
I'm gonna do my best to keep catching you up. And then after that, I'll show you other recordings where you can do some of the basic work that we did. And it's actually from a
Amazing.
class
Okay.
that I usually teach on Fridays where I have some recordings where you can do some basic work, okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Okay, so, yay, I'm here, other than the fact that Rebecca's still not in. Oh, you got in? There you go. Okay, so now you can try it again here. All right. Well, it's just your account, so it's not gonna be just this, it'll be your account, not the computer. Yeah, so you might wanna stay in this one and wait for the 10 minutes because it's your account, not your computer. When you get back to the same point in here, it'll give you the same 10-minute delay, and as long as you're in, leave both on and see which one works. Okay, Rebecca is almost in, but she tried her password so many times with it not working that now she has to wait 10 minutes before she can get it. But meanwhile, we'll do the class. Okay, but she's in. Someone trying to come in? The door keeps switching. Okay. All right. Thank you. And I had asked you all to go to the chat while I was doing this, and I'm only seeing Ed and Tatiana in the chat. So everyone, please go to the chat. Here it is again. Good afternoon. I'm writing in the chat. Hold on. Let's hit okay. So that place where you saw the good afternoon, the hi from Paula, the hi everyone. I want you all to do a little hey ho, just show what's it call it? Warm body on the other side, especially those of you who aren't on their videos that I don't see. I want to know that you're there. And just to practice and also to remind everyone and to catch Paula up to this. Let's go to the reactions and give me a good old yes, and then I'll show Paula what that means. So, oh, she's moving. Okay, so everyone give me a yes if you see the yes. And Paula, when you settle in, I'll show you what I mean by a yes. Okay, Tatiana, how are you doing? VDI, are you in, connected, everything is good?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
And you're in and you have your files and everything's good, okay. I'll help Paula with that in a minute to get the class files, but I want to get everyone going. So Paula, as long as you have Photoshop open and running in a little bit, once I've got everyone going, so just bear with me. Then I'll have
Okay.
you share your screen. Do you know how to share your screen? Have you ever shared your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Then go ahead and share your screen. I'm gonna open the files that I want on her screen. I'm gonna have her open it and everyone should do the same work.
Okay.
And what I showed at the beginning was the Padlet. I'd like everyone to
Okay, I'm
But
just,
the-
I had to
that's-
reconnect here because I think it was open for some time and now so,
yes, VDI, if you don't use it after like, I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it kind of disconnects.
okay,
So then let me know when you're back up. So I'll share my screen meanwhile.
okay.
Okay, so when you're back up, let me know. Meanwhile, here's my screen. And I know that Photoshop updated again over this week because I just updated at home, but again, in school here, they're not updating so quickly. Let's head over to Bridge, everyone. So Rebecca, you're in? Should I sign in to, you have, in the sign in, you have to do your username at pipeline.sbcc.edu, the whole thing. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna open this little Citrus. Now this Citrus is a JPEG file. Okay, so a JPEG file, since we're in Bridge, it's gonna open directly into Photoshop without stopping anywhere. And the files that we used the other day was also a JPEG file. So it opened directly into Photoshop as well. This is gonna be exactly the same. So just a double click is all we need and it'll open into Photoshop. Okay. Now, this is a file that right now, it looks like it's in focus and things are good, right? What do I always say? And in case I haven't said it yet, for those of you who are new to me, what do I always say when we start a photo? What's the first thing I need to do? And this is for people who are accustomed to being in my class. And I've always told them, first thing, before you start, what do I do?
Look at it in full size.
Yeah, so Colette is saying full size. People here in the classroom answered 100%, which is what we mean by full size. We need to look at it at 100%. So we're going to go ahead and do a shortcut for 100%. What's the shortcut for 100%? Control if you're in a PC, Command if you're on a Mac, and then press the number 1. Control or Command 1 will bring us to 100%. And so suddenly we're really up close to these fruit slices, okay? And when we're looking at them, right now, I have holding my space bar down. And then with that space bar held down, I get a little hand and I can just scroll to the right or to the left to move around to inspect the image to see if maybe it's working. It's in focus, it's not in focus, it's fuzzy, it's noisy. We're basically checking it out at 100%. Now, when you have, some of you guys might have a Mac and you might have, how do you call it? High resolution screen, like a retina screen, then you can go up to 200%. So you would do command or control plus one more time. You can see things at 200%, and then that might help you. But this screen that I'm in is not, it's a 4K, it's fine, but it begins already to start looking fuzzy. And that's not that the image is fuzzy, that's that I'm at 200%. So if I want to see what's real, I have to be at 100%, unless it's a retina screen, 5K. So now see how it looks really sharp versus just 100% more, just 200%, it's already looking fuzzy. So it's really important to remember the command one. I'm seeing a hand, yes, Tatiana?
There is some comes up like could not complete your request because of a program error when I try to do this.
Yeah, so the problem that you're having is a VDI issue where you need to just sign out and sign into the Google Drive each time.
But
So
Google
let me-
doesn't ask me about sign on in.
Okay, so on VDI, the files appear as corrupted when you, each time you open, if the Google Drive was left open and it's the old sessions Google Drive, then the files appear corrupted. So you need to sign out and sign it again. Let me stop my share and help you with that. Share your screen.
Okay.
And let me see what's happening here with Rebecca. Right. She's got 1 more minute to go of her 10-minute prohibition. All right, Tatiana, share your screen.
Okay.
And Tatiana, Paula, Tatiana is also on VDI. So whatever I'm telling Tatiana applies to you as well. Okay, Paula? All right, so let's go ahead and sign out and then in again. So go ahead and go over here. Did you connect?
How can I say out, sign out?
Okay, so go over here to the, yeah,
Uh-huh.
to that, click on that and then quit. Okay, and there we go. Right, so now let's go and connect again to Google Drive. Let me make this a little bit bigger. So, but it's not asking you to sign in, and that's not good. Normally,
Yeah, it doesn't ask me.
it should have you signing in again, and it's not asking you. Go back to the icon here and let's see where it puts you at. It has you as that, so yeah, here's your T, it has you as sign in. So try over here, go to your T, see if you can sign out from there. I don't know if it makes any difference. Disconnect account is what we used to do. So click on disconnect account. Okay, and then say disconnect again. And it's working, there we go. So now let's try it one more time, connect again. And there we go, now it's having you sign in again. Okay, so go ahead and say get started. Sign in. And Paula, you're gonna have to do this if you haven't yet. You need to look for your Google Drive. So go ahead and put your entire your username at pipeline.scc.edu.
Okay, thank you.
Pipeline.scc.edu. SPCC first. .sbcc.edu. Yeah. All right, and say next. Glad you guys are having fun here. They're trying to figure out the password situation over here while we're trying to sign you guys in. Okay, good.
Okay,
So now close this, and now you should be able to go and just go ahead and close that. Now go into Bridge, and hopefully it's a refreshed Google Drive. So go over here to this PC,
PC.
Google Drive,
Mm-hmm.
double click.
I double click.
No, not happening again. Double click again. Oh, here you have it. We did a quick access to it. So click just right here. Yeah, I forgot that we'd already done the quick access. Okay. And it should be coming in. Hello. Yeah. There they are. Let's see if they come in. So which is the one that we're opening? The citrus. It's one of these. It should pop in soon.
Citrus.
Yeah, but what's, hold on. See, there it is. Citrus. But give it a minute. Give it until they all redraw. And then I don't see the image though, so that's not good. You should have a little, see how these that are in gray and white? Those are not, and see how this one has lines? That's the fact that the Google Drive is not showing it to you correctly. Oh my. Try it one more time, but it's probably going to say again that it's not working.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Op.
Oh, it did
Yeah,
work.
thank
Okay,
you.
good. All right. All right, stopping your share. All right. I'll catch you up in a minute, Paula. For now, do you have Bridge open? Go ahead and open Bridge as well as Photoshop and VDI. Okay. All right. So everyone has Photoshop open, has Citrus open in Photoshop. Oh, she's going in. Rebecca's going in. I'm keeping an eye on people all over the place, but it's working. It's working. Okay. All right. This is what it's like to have 12. No, what is it? People who have quadruplets or octuplets or something, and they have to take care of all everyone at once. That's what I'm feeling like right now. Okay. Octomom, someone's saying here, yeah. Feel like the Octomom. Okay, clearing your feedback. All right, so everyone has Citrus open, except for Paula and Rebecca. I'll get to you guys. Paula's on the way, Rebecca's on the way, but both of you guys have to access class files. Okay. So one thing we did, what we did last week, and let me head back for a second here too. And I know that quite a few of you guys are doing the Friday class. So if I'm doing my best not to repeat, but if there's anything I say that I assume, so Eric, Tatiana, Paula, even Ed, because you were a bit spotty in the Friday class, if there's something I say that I have never said before and I go, oh, you guys already know this, it's because maybe I said it on Friday and not on the Tuesday, Wednesday class, Monday, Wednesday class. So you guys tell me, no, you didn't say that. Like, can you be aware of this? Please, I'm putting people who are new to today's class to be the ones to tell me, you didn't say it in this class. You know what I mean? But last week we did all of the last class, all of the changes that we made on these photos were global corrections. We applied some filters, we applied some adjustment layers. So we started by applying some neural filters, one on top of the other. Then we went in and at the very end, we put also an adjustment layer on top. So this is basically at the end, we had the neural filters down here. We had the original layer and we had an adjustment layer on top. But all of the above that we did, and I'm sorry if the last image ended up green, the intention was just to show you a hue saturation, not to make it look good. But all of these were global modifications. So today we're going to start to learn a little bit more about more specifically targeted modifications, which to do that would include being able to use a mask. And that is so strange, Rebecca, that it's taking so long. She put in her password hours ago and it's doing like, someone's not in her. Okay. So an example of a global modification, we're all going to do it all together now. And last week I took you to the hue saturation adjustments over here. Let me just take you down to this one, the contextual taskbar. Okay. And we're going to just really quickly do this one called adjust colors. Adjust colors. And so when we do adjust colors, and here, I'm going to move it up a little bit more so you can see it better. As soon as we clicked on adjust colors, this gives us what's called prominent colored choices. So it gives us a selection of what seems to be the most prominent colors of our image. Fine, But if we do nothing else with it and we look to the right, what we're seeing on the right side is a hue saturation adjustment layer. Anything I do now to this image will apply to the layer that's below. Now, follow me over here to the to right above, and you see over here where there's a long slider with colors. If I grab this slider and move it from the left to the right, now here's what you see what I mean about global modification. See how the entire thing is changing color? Not turning into one same color, rather each color is shifting into its own version. So if you pay attention, what used to be red is turning a certain color, what used to be orange is turning another color, what used to be yellow is turning another color, but everything is being modified into a different color. That's a global modification adjustment layer. If you're all with me at this point, and just to test the system that you remember how to say yes or no, give me a yes or a no. I was gonna go and help, oh, it's in? Give me a second, I'm gonna go help Rebecca. You guys can see me? There we go. All right, so one person's up and running down here. And I promise Paula, I'll get to you in about between the next five minutes. I'll catch you up, okay? Phew, one by one, sorting the things. All right, so this is a global modification. Did I get a yes from everyone? No, I didn't. So I need to test the yes and no system again. Colette, Mike, Tatiana, Shamuel, and Paula. When you are home and I want to know whether to move on to the next thing, I need everyone to say yes or no. So you see that some people are turning on the little green check mark. That means yes, and you find it under the reactions button, the little heart that says react. If you click on that, did you find it? Then you have a yes if it went well, or a no, which is right next to it, which is the red X if it didn't go well. So Eric, I haven't had a response from you yet. But in the case of Paula, you should be saying no, because nope, you're not there yet. But if you got the concept, then yep, because you got the concept. Okay, cool. I just need to make sure that when I say, give me a yes or a no, that I get a yes or no from everyone. Mike, are you there? Mike, I haven't gotten a response from you yet. And you were there a bit earlier, but I don't see you right now. So I don't know if you're paying attention. Okay, good. So that's a global modification. And if I hover over here to this little eyeball and I turn the eyeball on or off, the whole thing turns on or off. So the entire image is being affected. Now, this thing that's on the right side of my hue saturation layer. Okay, so this opens up the properties. And this is the properties where we made those changes. This over here, on the other hand, is the mask area of my properties. And for people on Friday, we just did a whole exercise about masking on Friday. So this is going to be a bit more masking work for some of you guys. This is the first time you've done masking. So let me clear your answers. And if you've ever done masking before, and you understand it, like not that you've done it and you have no idea about it, but if you've done masking and you kind of got it, not that you're great at it, but you just understand the process, give me a yes. If you don't remember masking or have never done it, give me a no. And let me help people here. Okay, so what we did is we did something really different. Don't be gentle with it. Make it really different, like purple. Don't go with like a slightly different color of orange. I want, I want a real different color. So when I say make it different, I don't want a slightly nicer. I want a real different color because we're gonna test what masking is. And for that, we need to have something that's obviously different. Okay, so this is new for Tatiana and Paula. Everyone else who's here, since I know it's not new to you, but still please answer yes or no. Okay, so Colette, Chamuel, give me some answers. All right. So, and then my people who are in person here who have done masking before too. All right, so let's head over to this mask. So what does this thing mean and what does it work for? How does it work? When I am seeing a mask look white, that means that it is not working at all. What do I mean by not working at all? This saturation layer was created in order to make my citrus look bluish, purplish. That's the effect that I wanted, right? If I turn the eyeball on or off, it works or doesn't work, the entire thing. So that's the effect of the hue saturation layer. Now, some of you guys might have it in a different color, but the whole point is that's the job, that's why this thing exists. So if this mask is white, that means that the entire image is working. So nothing is being masked out. The entire image is changing color. For some parts of this image to stay as original, to say the original colors, I would have to put some black in this mask. So it's like I grabbed a paper bag, it's Halloween. I grabbed a paper bag and I put it over my head. Basically, you don't see my head anymore. And now I'm going to cut some holes in that mask so that you can see my original eyes, which in this case would mean so that I can see the original colors. Does that make sense? So if this is the paper bag over my head and I want to see my eyes, I need to grab a paintbrush. And the best way to grab a paintbrush, there's so many brushy kind of things, is to click on the letter B. B on my keyboard. Tatiana, sorry, Paula, just watch this because the concept is the most important part of this, not the making. And then when people are working further on into this, then I'll go in and help you get the files. But I want people to be playing around with this while I do that with you. So the B for the brush gives me this guy over here. Now, depending on what workspace you're in, you might have different tools. I'm in the Essentials tools bar right now, which hopefully is the one that you're using. But in case you're not, then go over here to this area up at the top right and click on the choice of Essentials. Okay, so now you click on the toolbar, on the B for brush, and we need black ink. So where we get the blank ink from is as I look down in this side of the toolbar, let me put a little bit of color over here. This is the area where we choose the color of our ink. And the color of our ink is always going to be in the foreground. So right now, the color of my ink is what's in the foreground, which is white. The background is black. And if I click on this little arrow, I can flip it so that it goes from black to white. This little arrow that's on top, black to white, black to white. I want to stop in black. But to say the truth, I know that a lot of people, when I showed them this, the first thing they did was they went and clicked on white, because that's what people do. When you click on the white, that's the wrong thing to click on. So you would have gotten this box. And then when you try to keep flipping this, nothing is happening. Why? Because this box is open. When a box is open, there's nothing you can do about it. So you need to cancel that box first. And then you can keep flipping this back and forth, back and forth. Now, I don't like to flip this back and forth with the arrow. So those of you who are Old hats at this, what's the shortcut to flip the black and white that's not? So Rebecca's doing like that. Yeah, it's like, perfect. It's the letter X on the keyboard. If I click on the letter X on the keyboard, just watch, my mouse is nowhere near. I'm going and I'm gonna click on the letter X over here. Okay, and now it's white. And then I click on the letter X and it's black. See that? X, 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 X. Okay, so let me get black ink. And again, this is review. So for those of you who've done it before, bear with me. For those of you who've never done it, I'm just giving a primer. So I have black ink with a brush. Okay. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to change the size of my brush. So I can go over here where I have a number. My number happens to be 13, which is really tiny. And I can move the size of my brush back and forth over here. Let's go ahead and say that I put in about 100, 150 brush. Then that's how big it is, right? We'll talk about choices. I can make the brush softer or harder. Let's leave it somewhere around 50-ish%. So I got about 150 size and about a 50% hardness. And now, making sure I have black ink, because this is white. So on black, I paint white. On white, I paint black. Now, I'm going to start painting over here, over this orange peel. And just watch for a second. And it looks like I'm painting with red, but I'm not. Watch, just give me a second. Look what happened over here. I really painted black over white. So remember what I said? I just cut open the eyeballs on my mask. So anything that I just painted black on, I am still seeing the original color. Let me turn on the eyeball and off. That was the original color, see? Basically, this is the whole point. The effect that said, make my orange citrus slice blue or whatever that is, make it blue, is now being hidden. The black is hiding the effect. So when you hide the effect, make blue, it goes back to being its original color. Does that make sense? If that made sense to you, if the process made sense, I'm going to click my your answers. If the process made sense, give me a yes. Beyond whether you did it successfully or not, which I know some of you guys still don't have it, aren't doing it yet. But if the concept made sense, then this would be a good time to say if and or what, like things that yes or no or how come. But I'm basically making a whole. Now, another way to handle the size of this brush would be to use my keyboard shortcuts. See how I'm making it bigger or smaller, which I like much better because then maybe I can make it bigger or smaller much faster. So that's the letter, the bracket keys next to my letter P on my keyboard, okay? So now I'm gonna go in and make a little hole over here and I'm gonna let this color back in. So those are my two little eyeballs on my mask. And now I'm gonna let this, maybe this one back in. And that's my third little hole that I've made. Okay, so if I turn this on and off, those were original colors. All I did is hide the effect called turn blue. Yes, Tatiana? I can't hear you if you're speaking to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure about my brush because I didn't catch how can the color of brush.
Okay, so let me show one more thing and then people can play around with this. And then I'm going to help you and Paula, okay? So here's what I'm going to show everyone else, you guys. What I want you to do now that you kind of got that concept, just turn this eyeball off to disable that. We're going to just kind of ignore it for a minute. Go back to your background image. Okay, so this is for everyone. I'm going to clear your answers. Let's go back to this adjust colors that we had done at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to forget that one for a minute. We're going to click on adjust colors. And this goes back to being the prominent colors. And over here, as you see, we have a new hue saturation layer. See that one? But this time we're going to modify it from here. I'm going to let people work. while I help. There's a couple people here who need help online and in person, so just follow me. Click on the adjust colors, and this time we're gonna do this. We're gonna grab the color red, which is this one here. I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna modify just the color red. And you see how only the red now is going green or blue or whatever tone? Does that make sense? And that is happening without a mask. Because the same hue saturation can be adjusted to target only a particular color. So this is the only way to do something that's specific without masking. So now I'm going to go to this yellowish, light yellow, and I'm going to move that. And so now the yellow stuff is changing color. So and notice that when I change color, I get half the original color and half the new color. That shows me what I've targeted. So play around with this a little bit. I'm going to stop my share, or I'm going to leave it there for a minute. I'm going to go help someone here in person, and then I'm going to have Paula share her screen, and no, Tatiana share her screen, so I can give you the mask color, and Paula. Give me a second. All right, so I'm not going to do that like for you. Got it. So you are painting some black on the pixels. So let's undo that. Let's go up here. If it's straight and completely undo all that. The top. Yeah, click on the put your mouse. It's hard because you're still trying to use this as you have all the rest. This is what you're doing. Okay. And then click on the word citrus. So that's what you're doing. Now here, what I do is I first come all the way down here. She needed not to fix it. Yeah, so come all the way, I have done it, put it on the way with those colors. But you can also do it from here. Here is the circle. This color. Yeah. Okay. And I'll choose use that first. But now do that around. And then you can put and through. Choose everything. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Tatiana, did that work for you? Do you need to share really quickly before I help Paula?
Okay. You can
No,
help
no.
Paula first.
Did it work? Did it work for you or not?
I think I will see.
Oh, you were trying to share, but I was
Yeah,
still
I can
sharing.
stop sharing.
Sorry, now share again. My computer was still sharing, so you couldn't share. Go ahead and
Okay.
share now. Okay. So now, this second, what you're doing now.
Yeah, I do now, but
Hold
you
on, hold
say
on.
the
Wait,
last,
wait.
but
Stop for a minute. Tatiana, listen to me. The one you're doing now doesn't need the ink. So for now, turn this eyeball off, and let's go back to the one where you were having an issue with the ink. Okay,
Mhm.
so turn the eyeball on this one and turn this one on, which is the first one we did. So yeah, click on that one and turn that eyeball on. Yeah, and then click on this layer so that it's active. Turn the eyeball on again. I'm sorry, I'm covering it. The eyeball has to be on. So click it on. There's needs to be on. They're good. And now select this layer by clicking here on the word hue saturation. There you go. So you guys, it's important to always to have the lighter colored lit selection is the layer that we're working on. Okay. So now is when in this mask, you're going to be working with a brush. So go grab the B for brush, because the brush we want is this one, not any other. And you have a different kind of brush selected here. That's why I said so many brush looking things. The easiest way is to click on the B for brush. That's a shortcut.
It was
and it gives
wrong
you the right
brush.
brush. Yeah, the brush you had there was different. Okay, so now that you have, well, you unclicked it, so click on it again. And it's
Here?
Yes. Okay. Now you need to switch from white to black. So go ahead and go to black. No, don't click on that. See, there we go. So now you have to cancel out of that. Yeah, so we don't want to ever click on these two boxes at all, ever. But since
Uh-huh.
everyone does that, that's why I always show that. Now, what you want to do is click on this little arrow to switch black or white. Black,
Ah,
white.
uh-huh. Yeah, I
Okay.
see.
Okay, so now that you have black, now you have a pretty small brush. So you can go up here to the number 13 and get like, somewhere around here, a pretty big brush. Like just click kind of where I made a circle or drag it over, yeah. Okay, and now go ahead and start drawing in the image. And your colors didn't change enough, go over here and change them more. You know how I said, don't be subtle, come over here. Move this really over, make it really different so that, yeah, there we go. So now you can really see that we're
Uh-huh.
putting a hole in it. Okay, now play
Okay,
around with
thank
that.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Paula, can you share your screen now? Finally. Everyone else, hopefully with the adjust colors, you're able to target the different tones of the citrus and get a different color assigned to each tone, even though you have no mask going on. That's the attempt. And if that's working for you, give me a yes. If not, that's fine. Now, let me just talk to Paula meanwhile. Have you shared your screen before? So now I'm talking just to Paula. Paula?
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay. But let me talk you through. Do you have a Mac or a PC?
A Mac.
Okay. So when you share your screen, it will probably ask you to change permissions. So you need to tell me step by step what you're doing. When you first click the share, then another share button. You need to tell me where you are. I need to walk you through it. You started doing it and I need to walk you
Okay, so I'm going to share
through. Share. Then
and
there's
then
another
entire
button.
screen or
Oh,
application windows
Stop,
option.
stop, stop. Listen to me.
Yes,
At the bottom of that next window, there's another button that says share with white letters.
yes.
Click on that one. And
Allow
now,
Zoom Workplace to share your screen, and then there's an option for open system settings.
open system settings.
Okay,
Now, what you're seeing next, on the right side of your system, you should see the word Zoom. System settings on the right side, you should be seeing
Yeah.
the word Zoom. Okay. Try to click on the slider to turn that Zoom system on. And
it's
it'll ask you for
asking
your
for a password.
computer password, yeah.
So it's my
Like-
pipeline password?
No, it's your computer. When you open your computer, you're changing
Okay.
computer settings. Your computer wants to make sure you are you and that you have the rights to do this. When you're done with your password,
Zoom may not be able to record the
that's fine.
content.
Say later.
Okay.
Okay, good, perfect. Now, go back to Zoom. And this time, now you click on share and the second share, and then it'll work.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
that's one time only. You never have to do this again. From now on, it's just share, share.
Okay,
Perfect.
good.
Now I'm seeing your screen. Okay, great.
So
and
I
say
was trying to sign in
Sign
here,
in.
but I didn't have
Okay.
everything saved.
Yeah, so you need to use your entire at pipeline.sbcc.edu.
Yeah, no, it's just like I couldn't do this before because I don't know, I couldn't find my Chrome.
Okay,
That-
that's
I
fine.
think now it's gonna work.
Cool. Say sign in. It's gonna take you through a few steps. Perfect. Now you can close this little window at the top. Now
Okay.
it's gonna, yeah, perfect. Okay. Now let's go ahead and click on this little tab here so that this closes out because we don't need it anymore.
Okay.
Oh, you opened the wrong. You didn't go to the student desktop. Go back and open this. I'm noticing that you didn't go over here to the left side, the one I just told you to close. Open it again.
So this?
Yeah, you opened everything from here, which is not where you need to open them from. So go ahead and close everything.
Okay.
Close everything. Close, close, close everything. And I don't know. Yeah, close and close. Click, close, and close. And click maybe this X to get rid of it. Okay, so you need to go to student desktop, not
Okay.
that one, because that's a different set of programs. Good. Now this one takes about a minute before it say okay. This will take maybe 30 seconds or something before it works.
Diana, you're so patient. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the people who've been in class for a while, that they're the ones being patient because, you know, they're wanting to move forward. So thank you everyone for your guys' patience. Been there, done that, say people, because they've all been through it when they were new, right? That they had to,
Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Okay. And, you know, the first few days, it's like that because people join at the last minute and normally they have all the information to get going, but in your case, you just joined right now, so you couldn't have read everything. So that's fine. And we need students in the class, so I can't. As you can see, it's a very small class. So, okay, we're here. Now, wait a minute more because there we go. Okay, so now this is where when the Google appears, we're going to say yes. But meanwhile, go ahead and do a search here for Photoshop. Good. Now click on that. Okay. And then at the same time, now while that's opening, go down here again and write the word bridge. Good. On that. Cool. Try again. It's not. All right. Try over here to say open or double click. Or, okay. Now bridge is open. All right. Now we still need a Google Drive. So go over here to search and type Google Drive. Google Drive. Here it is. It's not. No, because that's Google Chrome. We don't want Google Chrome. No, I don't want Google Chrome. I want Google Drive. There, open. Yeah, it's open. Cool. Go there. And then get started and sign in with your entire pipeline username and password. Okay, so your pipeline at pipeline.sbcc.edu. Okay, so hopefully you guys at home, by the way, are working on posting all of this on the Padlet while we're doing this. So let me post the Padlet link again, which I posted a little bit earlier in the chat. Oh, I guess I don't have it in the chat yet. Huh. Let me get the link, which I thought I had posted. Okay, and for people here in school, okay, so there's the Padlet in the chat, you guys, so that I want you guys to be posting your screenshots of this mask. All right, so let me help you again. Okay, so now go ahead and choose folders to send. I should have said yesterday. Okay, good. All right, you're done. So now let's go to Bridge. Down here, click on Bridge. Cool. Quit that. Quit up here. It's trying to teach you how to use Bridge. Just close that window. Do you see where I'm? Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So now, double click on this PC. No, you need to close this. We're not. No. You're not.
Sorry.
You need to go through Bridge. You're not through Google Drive. So close this. Yeah, we're just going to use Bridge. So that is, yeah. Close that.
Should I close
this.
this?
Yeah, close that. Close it again. Okay, now close it. Okay. All right, so go over here to this PC on the left side of the screen. Okay, double click Google Drive. Later, when you watch the recordings, you'll understand better what Bridge is. Right now, I'm just getting you to set it up.
Okay.
Double click again. Now we have to wait 30 seconds or so. All right. You guys posting in the Padlet your masks? What? Oh. Again? It's not uploading from me. Okay, I need to. Yeah, but it's not I'm saying it's not upgrading from me. So I need to. Again, Google again. Give me a second. It's not. Hold on. I'm trying to log into Padlet, so I'm not paying much attention to you yet. There we go. Mine and approved posts are finally coming in. All right. Okay, I'm back with you, Paula.
Okay,
Okay, right click on this folder. Right click. And copy. Okay. Now let's go over to Google Drive. No. Sorry. Never.
no,
Sorry. We're staying in Bridge. Everything in Bridge. So close out of here. Close out of all this other. So over here. So now we have to go back. Okay. I was pointing to something that said Google Drive here, but go back to the
Okay.
PC. Yeah. So now we're never leaving. We're not using, because we have Macs and PCs, and for many other reasons, we're using Bridge instead of the file manager. So you're basically never going to use the file manager while we're in this class, okay?
okay.
So double click on Google Drive. We're using Bridge in a way as a file explorer. Double click.
Should I double click
Yes,
on
double
Google
click.
Drive?
Double click on Google Drive. And now go to My Drive. So that's the school's drive. Okay. Now right click and paste. And it's gonna, now you're putting the class files from the general bucket, we're putting in your school Google Drive and your pipeline Google Drive. So it shouldn't take that long. It says a lot and then it goes fast for always. And then you're gonna grab the folder that appears over here. You're gonna drag it right there. So you're not gonna double click, you're just gonna drag and put it right there when you're done, okay?
Okay. Okay.
And then you're set. You'll click on that and you'll see the class files. But first you'll need to wait for it to copy. All right. Meanwhile, let me see what's happening in the Padlet. Oh, good. Now I'm seeing your guys' things. Good. And now I can see all of other posts and Ed's other posts and everyone's colorful stuff. Okay. So now you can flip back and forth between the two different hue saturation layers that we did there. You would not want both of them on at the same time, like the eyeball. They are two different types of hue saturation layers. One, we had to map. Yeah, go ahead and drag and drop it there. Perfect. Now click on that. Click on that. There. Now those are the class files. Now find the citrus and double click and it'll open in Photoshop. Okay, let me stop. It's over here. And now let me have you double click on that and it'll open in Photoshop. So now whenever we go from Photoshop down here in the taskbar, Photoshop to Bridge, Photoshop, say okay to that, that's okay. And go back. There we go. Okay.
Cool.
So now just, it's okay if you don't do the first part of the class. You can watch the recording later to do the first part of
Sure.
the class.
Okay.
Now you're with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now I'm going to stop your share. Okay. I'm going to share my screen now. And back to Photoshop. Okay, so guys, I'm with you again. So everyone pay attention to me for a sec. So when I look around, right now I have just 2 people in class, but I remember from when I used to teach only in person at this point, what would be typical is that people have a lot of different adjustment layers over here, not just the 2 that we made. If you've been trying others, that's fine. Let me just say something. These things affect each other. So if I have one, oh, here comes Moni. If I have one turned on, by that I mean eyeball, right? And so in this one, I was turning, I guess, the yellow green. That's what this one was doing, and I'm seeing it because of that. Now I'm seeing that here, but notice that I'm also seeing it up. When I say here, I mean, let me give a circle. I'm seeing it here in the contextual taskbar, which happens to be hovering around here. But I'm also seeing it in the properties over here. Hi, Moni, thanks for joining us.
Hi there.
So right now we just have the citrus file open and we're doing two different types of ways of working with our hue saturation. One with masking and just one with the prominent colors. But what I was saying is that if I have this one turned on and I look at the effect of this one was just turn my yellowish tones green, because I can see over here that that's what I've done. I can also go back to like my red tones and turn them, I don't know, green or something. So now my red, the stuff that is turning fuchsia. I don't know, let's make it be a really bright tone of pink or amber. So those are the two things. That's over here. And see how the mask is not being used? And yet I am modifying individual portions of it. Does that make sense? Versus the top one, and I'm going to turn this eyeball off and I'm going to turn this eyeball on. Let me close all these pink, these drawings out. Versus the top one was making everything blue, but then I told it don't make some portions of it blue by using a mask. So it's a different way of targeting portions of my screen. Does that make sense? Now, what the tool I've applied is the same one. It's a hue saturation layer. But if I turn this one on, this is the original color. They're both turned on. If I turn the first one on, the one where I use a mask, right? Now, basically everything is blue except for the original lemon, the original, I guess, grapefruit, and the original, whatever this one. No, this one wasn't red. That one is, what's the other one? I think that's all. Oh, this one. This is like a blood orange or something. So these are the two or three original ones. Let me actually do that for a second. Okay, so those are the three original colors on this one. Turn this one off. On this one, I have my reds turned fuchsia and my yellows, which applies quite a few, turned green. Look what happens when I turn both on. It's a third solution because this one and this one are affecting each other. Does that make sense? So if you were working on the second one while the first eyeball was turned on, you couldn't really tell what the second one was doing. You could only see what it was doing in conjunction. Does that make sense? So either you always work with them on individually or off individually, or you're aware that if you like the effect of this, then it's based on the addition of both of these saturation layers. Does that make sense? That's how you make this result. And if I change one of them in order, so watch, I'm going to grab this one and put it on top of that one. And the results changed yet again. Because now with this on top of this one, I have a different solution than with this one on top of that one. It's just, which is different than if this one's turned off, which is different as that one's turned on. So with two saturation layers, I basically have 4 solutions. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if you got it, if you tried it and you see that they're different. Now, how do you control what happens? Well, normally you'll be building one at a time and you'll be changing things and then you'll say, I love this. This is perfect. I love it. Well, look at here and go, oh, that means that both have to be turned on and these are their settings for this to be exactly what I want. Does that make sense? But the moment you forget and turn one off, then you go, what happened to those? Where did they come from? Or you change the order of them, just a simple change in the order, and then you'll resort. Now, sometimes the changing in order is very different results, and sometimes not, depending on the colors you chose. So in my case, a changing order gives me a tremendously different result, but for other people, it might not. That just depends on the colors you chose and what you move to the right or to the left. Yes, Paula?
I'm not sure it's so clear, like the difference when you when you turn on both layers and then when you put one over the other. What's
Yeah, so it's a little bit harder to just see with me and without like trying it on you, and then you would see the difference. So later when we
Oh,
do it, we'll get a
okay.
bit better. But here's none. Here's my original background.
Okay.
Here's the first one we did
Yeah.
where everything turned blue except for these three.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna turn that one off. So back to the original. This one, I made pink and green, let's say, and I'm gonna turn it off. When I turn both on, then some of the pink went pink, some of the stuff that would have been pink went blue, others went green, like there's a complete combination. So in the place where I masked through one of them, I have only one of the effects, which is just the pink. But this one is suffering from an addition of both effects. It's got this one, turning it pink, and this one, turning it deep blue. But when you put both together, it becomes bright blue. So
Okay.
just focus on this, just focus on this one here.
Okay.
Just everyone look at this one color. This one piece of grapefruit or whatever this thing is called, just there. When I turn the bottom one on, it goes pink. Got it? When I turn the top one on, it goes deep blue. Yeah? Now I'm going to turn both on and it went bright blue. So it's a third option. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they both affect each other. Now this one stayed pink. Why? Because that one only had one effect. Because over here, I had masked out the effect of the second one. So there's no change. That one stays with only this original change because this change isn't happening on that one because I had masked it out. Does that make sense, you guys? So again, this will happen when you guys play around with these, it'll be more. Now, what's the caution tale? The caution here would be that if you did go and play with a few more, all of those are affecting each other. So the more layers you have, especially if you have different adjustment layers, which is not hue saturation, but say I put another hue saturation layer and then I flip it into another different way, then suddenly I have a third option that now I can move around. And now I have the green in there, and then I move this one here, and that's a third option, move it up there. And it's like, so it's like, it becomes a bit hard to control. You know what I mean? Like, which one is the one that's doing what? Because really they're all three are working on this one. Imagine that you have, you're looking at a sunset and you put on some pink sunglasses, suddenly everything looks pink. But if on top of the pink glasses, you were to put on some blue sunglasses, you're adding pink and blue to what your eyes see. If you were to suddenly take only the pink ones out, then everything would look blue. But by having pink and blue, it's probably beginning to look murky brown. You know what I mean? They all are affecting the final result. So I don't recommend too much stacking unless you're a bit in control of what's happening. But this is more of a cautionary tale. If on top of that, I do a different one of these, say that I go for, I don't know, something else, which right now I haven't taught you any others, but I do something else that affects all of them. Well, if it affects all of them, it might affect it differently if it's on top or in the middle or in the bottom as well, right? So anyway, this one in particular wasn't such a different one, but you need to be careful with it. All right, so now make sure that when you give me the screenshots, that you do a screenshot with the different saturation layers. I'm gonna just leave two since two is really what we played around with. But see, immediately I turn one away, one out, and see how everything changed. All I did was take my second one. So I'm gonna do my own little screenshot that I haven't yet done. And by the way, this is how we turn work in, Paulo. We do a screenshot of the work we did. And then we're gonna go and upload it into the Padlet over here to show me the work that you've been doing. And here's all your guys' combos. And I'm going to, since I want to continue, I'll explain it later. But for now, I'm just remind myself that I need to put this one here. And this one was applying multiple adjustment layers, one over another. All of them affect at the same time giving us a third or fourth solution. That's, I'm gonna publish that. I'll put in my stuff later. Okay. Back to Photoshop. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn both eyeballs off. Okay, so now from now on, Paula, you can join us in this next one. Okay. So we've discovered that one way to individually work with an image without having to do masking is using the prominent colors feature of the hue saturation. But just about every other one of these adjustment layers is going to be working with a mask in order to apply it to just one portion of the image. Now, the mask can be done after the fact, which is what we did here, meaning we make hue saturation and then we paint out a portion, right? But, and again, I'm disabling both. I don't want any of these to be working. But there's a different way of working with masks that is probably a bit more accurate. And that is first making a selection and then applying the correction. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is what I began to do on Friday. I was showing different ways of making masks, but I'm going to have us use a couple different tools. And last week we used, and again, some of you guys are not in that class, I know, but just acknowledging what tools are available and a few of the ones that we've been using. Let me hear your feedback. Basically, all of the tools, starting from the second tool, this one, and this one, and this one, these three tools, they are all selection masks. What's that? Oh. I'm in the essentials mask. But Paul, if you've just started, you might be just in this core tools here, in which case you see different things there. So go over to the top right and switch to essentials. Some of you guys might be in photography. I think in this class we were just doing essentials. On the Friday morning class, I was doing photography. On this one, I was doing essentials. So let's change. Just for you guys to see different tools. So I'm working on essentials. Okay. All right, so here on the left side, we see selection tool, selection tool, selection tool, but each one of these has more underneath. So if I click and hold this one, I'll discover that I have 4 different possibilities under there. If I click on this one and hold, I have 4 possibilities under that. If I click on this one, I have 3 possibilities under that. So it's just a matter of clicking and holding tight to have all the other options chosen. And we worked quite a bit on the object selection tool the other day, which I know I did it for Friday people, so you guys won't have seen it, but there's some good news there in that in the class handouts, the recordings for the Friday class, even if you didn't attend it, the recording is there. So you guys could catch up if you want to spend a bit more time with the object selection tool, which is kind of intricate. You could watch that recording, especially if you don't have to catch up to any of our classes because you're attending them, then watching the Friday class might help you see a few other tools, but anyway. But a tool that I haven't, that's the one that I want to use right now really quickly is the middle one. Okay, so click on hold this one that looks like a box, and then choose the middle one called this quick selection tool, and let go when you're there. So you should be seeing a little paintbrush here. There's another paintbrush there. There's another paintbrush there, but they all look a little bit different. This paintbrush is the quick selection tool. Once you're there, we're going to bring it over to the middle and we're going to make it bigger. Again, with my, I'm going to use my either, what is my key? What is my key? Okay. I need to have selected my background, by the way. So make sure your selection down here, guys, is on your background, because we were playing with those. You need to have your background selected because we're selecting the pixels. And now we can make it bigger or smaller. I'm hitting the letter that's next to the P, the brackets, there's a open bracket and closed brackets. That's what's making my tool change shape. So I'm gonna use a tool that's about, I don't know, yay big. And I'm gonna choose this orange slice right there. And so how I'm gonna choose it, I'm just gonna click on it. And my tool knows when the orange color changes enough to stop. And so it stopped right where the rind gets white. You see that? So everyone use the selection tool to do that. Now I'm going to use it over here. And I click, and once again, it made that choice. But as opposed to everything I've ever taught you on Friday, did you see how every time I click, the selection stays on? Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the rule of all selection tools is that when you select something, the other selection goes away. So let me show you really quickly what I mean. On a different tool, and I'm just going to do a quick demo of it only, and then we're going to talk. If I make a selection of this little bit right there, the moment I select this little bit right there, that first one disappeared. And I'm tired of this thing appearing in the middle, so I'm going to move it out of the way. Oh, I should give you guys a break. Give me a second. Then when I select over here again, that one disappeared. And when I select over here, the first one disappeared. You see that? You can only have one selection at a time. That's kind of the rule of selection with every tool, except the one tool. And then we have workarounds, and I'll teach you that later. Except for the quick selection tool. The quick selection tool is set on permanent plus mode. So if I select this over here, then when I select this over here, that selection didn't go away. And when I select this over here, that selection didn't go away. You see that? It's like the one positive selection tool. It's the one and only, I believe, that works that way. And then I select this one over here, that one stayed. Okay? So now let me go ahead, since I've been willy-nilly selecting, I'm going to use this tool to say deselect, or for people who love shortcuts, Command D or Control D, deselect. And now I actually do want to select only this one, the good old middle one again. Okay. You're all good with that? Just selecting one. Now, as opposed to before that I had nothing selected, now I'm going to go back and do once again, a hue saturation. So I'm going to go down to where I see because before we had done it with adjust colors, but see how adjust colors isn't here right now? So where we got these hue saturation was from down here. Layers panel, go to the bottom, and you have all these tools, and the one that's a circle, you click and hold it, and the hue saturation tool pops in right there. And here I have my hue saturation tool with a pre-selected orange. And for the first time ever, what we see is that my mask looks mostly black. Okay, I'm gonna help some people here. Nothing happened for orange yet. I'll begin selecting that. It's hard getting accustomed to something new, right? All right. So now we have a mask, but that hasn't changed color, right? All we have is a mask. But let me first interpret the mask for you, because it's the opposite of that one before. This means that what's black is not going to be affected. The only thing affected is going to be what's white, which is the same that this was saying. The white stuff is what was affected. It all turned blue, but then a few pieces I turned black and said, don't affect these, remember? So here it's the same thing. Colors are doing the same thing. Black is saying, don't affect it. White is saying affect it. So let's go affect it. Let's go move this back and forth. And the only thing changing color now is the interior part of that one orange. Does that make sense? I'll go and give a hand. Hold on. Does that make sense, you guys? So the mask is working the same way in these two versions, except for I have a ton of black So nothing else changes except for the little bit that's white. And in this one, everything changed except for what I made block. Okay, and let me give a hand over here. Yes, so go back here and look at this one. Look at this circle there. Again, I'm gonna choose for separation. Click on that, and click it. Now, the mask has been made, and we go over here and flip it back and forth to change the color of just the interior of the orange. All right, if you were able to change just the interior of the orange and you were able to see how the mask was affecting, basically it's the same idea, but we did it in reverse. The first one, we masked it out later, and this one, we masked it out in the selection. Then give me a yes. Let me clear your answers because I don't know if the answers from before or now. Give me a yes, and then give me no if it's not working or if you have any questions. All right, so Moni,
Okay, so I think I don't know if it's I'm trying to see if maybe my system is just too slow. We were using the quick select tool, correct?
go ahead and I'm
Okay.
gonna stop my share so that you can share in case it's
It's
something that they
yeah.
could do.
Okay, so
And everyone else who said no, remember, sometimes an explanation's enough. At the moment, the explanation is a bit longer. Just share because then I can see, and then it makes more sense to see what might have happened or not. Okay.
okay. Can you
Mhm.
see?
Yeah,
Okay.
so what I can see is that your mask was not created with a selection made because there's
Right.
nothing to
So
it.
it was because it would not give me a selection. So of course
Okay.
it probably will work now because you're here, but
No, stop. It's not working because you don't have much selected because you have a 2-pixel brush. So you need to make a big brush.
Oh.
So go to the brush numbers here. This is why seeing is useful for me because then I can immediately see what's happening. Okay, now you have a bigger brush. Now it's still, this is a very big file, so you need to give yourself a pretty big brush to make any difference. It's a very,
Oh gosh.
so now go over here. Yep, and now go
Wow,
over here and
this
click
is
on the
big.
orange. Yeah, it's a very high, it's got many, many pixels. We'll talk about that.
Okay,
later.
so what are you, I'm sorry, where am I? What did you want me to do?
Now come over here and select your orange. Your brush.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's what it was. All
And then
right,
you
all
know,
right.
You probably, it's probably working on a little 2-pixel thing here. So you
Yeah.
need to throw this one away and start again.
Well, I did this where I was like, trying to go around and catch something,
Yeah,
but it was still too tight.
nothing was catching.
Okay,
Okay, so
thank
now that
you.
you have, now go ahead and say deselect and then focus on one or two or whatever you want, but on something specific.
Okay.
And then when you make your hue saturation tool, there you go. See?
Thank you.
So now you can flip this around and it'll work. And by the way, for those of you who are seeing that in her case, it's different, depending on how your computer is set up. In her case, her properties are popping up here on the left side, depends on how much space you have in it. Okay.
Oh.
Cool. So the next, I'm going to stop your share. Paula, what was your question?
I don't know. I wasn't able to get the correct selection tool.
Share your screen. This is the first time you're doing it, so I'm expecting some questions there. So now it's just share and then share again. That's all, and it works. 2 times the share. Perfect. Okay, and can you move this whole thing back?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, so now the right selection tool, go to your keyboard and click on the B for brush.
Okay.
There you go. That's the right tool. Okay, and you can see over here that it turned on my pencil. For some reason, when it's VDI, the pencil has a harder time writing on it. So there you go. See, that's the right brush. So that's good. Now, let's go ahead and oh no, you're not. You're not doing a mask. I am so sorry.
Yeah,
Alan,
it's
so I'm
supposed to
telling
be
you
this
wrong.
one, right?
Yes, so not this one. I got it. Not this one. That is called a selection brush tool. It's
Ah,
gonna be so
okay.
similar. It's weird. Go to this one here. Selection brush tool is going to do something very different. Click on that one. Click and hold your mouse down. Hold it down. Like click and hold down, down, down. There we go. And there's your quick selection tool is the middle one.
Ah, okay.
Perfect. Okay.
And
Now,
I have to make this bigger. Okay.
hold on, I messed up.
No.
I need to give you guys your, okay, make it quite a bit bigger, yeah, and then there you go, and that, it's okay, it's somewhere in between, it's just a, yeah. For now, there we go, just click and drag it around the red a little bit, it's small enough that you're gonna have to drag it around a little bit, or go and make it a little bit bigger. Somewhere in between, yeah, something like that. Now, click on the pink, whatever it's called, pinkish grapefruit, and drag it around.
The spacing?
No, 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 no. Just, oh, I'm sorry, I keep, I have a thing that I keep doing with my hands that is not working. No, I'm trying to clear my drawings that way. Okay, so in order to make this bigger, if you don't want to keep going here, okay, because then it's back and forth, back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The place to do that is go to your keyboard,
Mm-hmm.
look at the letter P.
Okay.
Yeah, to the right of the letter P, there's brackets, okay? So you can make it bigger or smaller by clicking again and again on those brackets, and that's gonna be easier at this point. So click on the bracket keys and make it bigger.
Okay.
Now click one time.
Oh,
See how
okay.
the selection worked all around the edges?
Yes. Yes.
And you guys can practice more with that tool later, but just so you know, it's kind of hard sometimes to, when it's so tiny, you basically have to use that tool to get it to even be visible. But then when it starts being visible, it's easy to just use the keyboard to get it to the right size. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, now go down here to the hue saturation icon and click on hue saturation. Yep. And now move this one way or the other. And yay, you got
Okay.
colorful stuff.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna stop your share. Mike,
Yes, mine wouldn't do multiple selections.
by the way, when I'm helping people individually like this, make sure that everyone is trying something else, like make another one, choose 3 others, or have a parallel image open and try to select other things. Okay, especially those of you who gave me the yes from the beginning, Eric and Tatiana and Colette. There's so many files that I have open there as samples. Open a different one and see, well, what would it be to select a mountain or whatever? Like, keep working it so that you have questions for where something doesn't work. If it's an easy yes, then you just sit there kind of tapping your fingers. It's boring. But this might not be so easy when you move to a different image, right? So try it on a different image and see, and then ask me, how come it didn't work here? I'm happy to have you guys keep working and then maybe even posting that in Padlet to see what other things you've tried. Or try it on your own images. All right, Mike, sorry, I was just trying to make sure everyone has something going on while I'm helping people.
I'm on a PC, so
Share your screen.
it won't make a multiple selections.
Yeah, so share your screen because I want to see what's happening because you might have a different tool. Or not, we'll see. Okay. PC or Mac doesn't make the slightest difference. Okay, just so you know, it only makes a difference in what you use. Okay, so go to your Photoshop, open it up if I'm not seeing. Okay, so now go ahead and say deselect so that what's selected is gone. Okay, yeah, so over here you have the tool set in permanent minus for some reason. I don't know why. At some point
As
up here. See over here where I'm pointing?
Oh, up there,
Yeah,
okay.
so go ahead and choose the neutral version, which is that tool.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh.
And now it should work. Okay. Now click on that.
Ah,
Now
okay.
click on that. That's why when I say share your screen, it's because I really
I did
need
not
to
see that.
I need to literally see to see what the problem might be. Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's not because I'm trying to make it slower. I'm going to make it faster. Explaining never does the job. Me seeing it, I go, oh, boom, that's the problem. Okay, y'all got it right here too, Rebecca and Sue? Now, here's the thing. Did anyone try it on something else? Okay, so hopefully that's the learning for all you fast people who did it right the first time. Don't sit there just kind of watching a movie, watching us like this were a movie. Watching as if this were a movie is not useful. I am not an entertainer. I am a teacher, and what I want you to do is to be doing. I want you to be opening up a different image, trying the same stuff on it to come up with, well, what ifs. Okay, all right, good. Let me share my screen now. And here we go. All right, so back to Photoshop. So now we have, and again, that's the one that I hadn't, see, this is the one, so let me just show you for a minute. I purposely chose that round one because it's the one that I had before told not to change. So when I turned this one on originally, I had told this one not to change color, remember? And I gave a few others not to. So now when I turn this one on, they're not counteracting each other because this one is affecting everything except for the central fruit. And this one is working only on the fruit. Does that make sense? So this would be more typical way of how you would use masks when you want to approach or affect different parts of the image without having them affect each other. Does that make sense? They'd be like negatives of each other. Got it? Where in part, I make one part one thing, another part another thing. So now let's try that concept on a different image. Let's go back to Bridge. And this is where I need to start my share and restart because for some reason when I switch from Photoshop to Bridge, the share doesn't like that. So now let me share again. Okay. Here we go. All right, so back to Bridge. And now we're going to work on an image that has let's say, distinct areas. So we're going to go to this one that says Morocco. Oh, yeah, y'all have this one, right? Yeah. Do you have it? Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. Okay. Let's double click on it. And this one is, as opposed to the other one, this is not a big file. This is a tiny file that it's coming from the internet, and it's got very little resolution as opposed to the Citrus, which was a huge file with a ton of pixels. So I'm going to go ahead and notice that I'm already at 100%. You see that? So when I go bigger, Command plus, I begin to see things a little bit fuzzy, but that's okay. I just wanted something that has distinct colors, and we have some yellow over here, some orange over here, some green over there. Got it? All right. So I'm going to have us mask these areas separately so that we can control them separately as if we had done it with the different colors. First of all, I'm going to use the same tool we just used, the quick selection tool. So we're not changing tool. And pay attention to what happened to my brush right now. Yeah, it looks humongous. Has my brush changed? Did you guys change your brush? No. Watch, this is a demo, so just watch. This is a show and tell. When I go back up here to my Citrus photo, my brush is 150 pixels big, and that's how big it looks. When I go to my Morocco, my brush is still 150 pixels big, but look at how big it is. The brush hasn't changed. What's the issue is that this file has very few pixels, so to say, versus this one has a ton. And this isn't the moment to teach you this. I'm just going to show you something in Bridge. So just watch. In Bridge, we have all this metadata available to us. When I click on the Citrus, so just pay attention to this because I want you guys to understand something. This image over here, Citrus image, is telling me that it has 4,000 by 6,000. What's that? It's how many pixels per side. So it's got 4,000 pixels along that edge and 6,000 pixels along this edge. The total of that for someone who's good at maths is 4,000 times 6,000. I don't know how many, it was like 24 million pixels, something like that in there. But that's how many pixels. So a brush that's 160 pixels. If this is 6,000 pixels, a brush that's 160 pixels is kind of tiny. Versus this one, oh, it doesn't even tell me how many because it's this weird format, but we can tell in Photoshop. This one is my brush. Okay, let me just do it in Photoshop. If my 150 pixel brush is almost as big as how high it is, what this means is that this is probably not much bigger than 150 pixels. Let me just read it from here in a different spot. And it's basically, give me a second. It's basically, it's a 800 by 450 pixel image. Doesn't matter where I got this from, but it's an 850 by 450 pixel image. So my brush is much bigger. Does that make sense? Anyway, so for this one, I would have to either go back really quickly to a more normal size and then begin to go down, because I'm starting so big as that, it might take clicking and holding down for a bit to make my brush become more logical. Now, when I go with this logical sized brush from here over to this image, it's going to look like so tiny that it won't make a difference. Does that make sense? So just explaining how brushes are the size they are. They're stuck in the size they are. It just depends on the image, how big or small they look. Okay, so here I have my, I went down to some whatever size. And how I'm going to use this brush is by touching only what I want. So if I want only the green, I'm not going to have to go really close to the green. I just need to go somewhere near the green and click, right? And if I just do a single click, it gives me a little bit there. But if I move it around a little bit, then it chooses everything. So I'm going to click and move around a little bit. See, I was choosing green in different areas. But now if I go in here to grab that green that's there, let me move this out of the way. What's going to happen is that my circle is going to touch some brown and some brown. You see that? So I need to make it smaller first and then keep touching green. Does that make sense? And then keep touching green. And I finally got all the green in here. And then I come over here and I might need to drag it a little bit to get all my green. And then over here, I'm going to drag it around to get all this green. And then maybe if I click in here, I'm going to grab some brown. So I need to go even tinier and click on over there to get this little bit of green. Does that make sense how I'm using the sizes of my brush to grab little bits and pieces? So I was able, and then there's a little bit of green up there. I'm going to click over there and I got a bit of green over there. Okay, so I think I got most of the green. That's not perfect,
Yeah.
but most of the green balls. Yeah. So I have pre-selected all the green. Everyone do that. Pre-select your greens. We're going to take, I'm not accustomed to how short this class seems. I'm accustomed to my 4-hour classes, and this one, I know you guys might go short, 5 to 8, but since I'm accustomed to 4 hours, somehow the breaks seem to come too soon on me. And then I was basically fixing tech support for the first almost 45 minutes. So I'm sorry I haven't given you your break yet. I'll give it to you in a minute. Okay, so now that we have most of the green selected by changing the sizes of my brush, now I'm going to go down to the hue saturation tools. Once again, the little hue saturation tools. Haven't changed the tool I'm using because I'm just teaching masking right now. And the mask appears over here. And it's basically saying anything that's white, I'm going to let you change color. So anything that was selected is going to change color. And the rest is going to remain untouched. So now I'm going to go ahead and begin to try to change the color of the green stuff. Does that make sense? So it went from green to blue. I'm going to leave it as blue. So that's a pre-selected area of the image. How's it going over here? Okay, good. Move this around. Okay. Nice. All right. Give me a yes at home if that worked. Okay. So now, what if we're fine changing most of these to blue, but we actually really wanted maybe this portion here to remain the original green, right? First of all, let's go look at this mask that we made. Turn this on and off. There's my original green. This is a non-destructive modification. It is something I can turn on and off. Not only is it non-destructive, but it's editable. How is it editable? I can go back in here and go from blue to purple or purple to pink. So I can come back and change it at my heart's content. So it's non-destructive because I can always just turn it off and I have my original green. And it's editable because I can keep changing it to my heart's content. Got it? That's the best kind of changes that I'm going to make. Now, the next part is, what if I didn't really want this amount of green turned blue? What if I still wanted some of my green? First of all, let's see what this is. Let's see this mask. And what I'm showing you is that I'm holding down the Alt or Option key, and then I'm clicking on the mask. And this is the mask that was created by my selections. I didn't create this one. This was corrected by having pre-selected something. Got it? And when you look at it, it's pretty much black or white. There's not many other choices. But it's not that sharp. If I Command +++ to zoom in, see how the edges aren't necessarily extremely sharp? See that? They have a little bit of gray. That was black, that was white. But those edges are actually tones of gray. Can you tell? It's hard to tell because it's only the edges. But if I go over here, there are tones of gray in this mask. Got it? So let me zoom out a little bit. And for the most part, if something is white, the effect is showing. If it's black, the effect is not showing. Well, what's happening to those gray tones? So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, we're going to talk about how to eliminate a portion of this. Now, watch my screen. I'm going to click in Option, Alt, and click again. I'm back to seeing my image. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my brush, the one that I was mistakenly telling Paula to grab before, the actual brush, the one that we used here in the citrus image to paint these holes. I told you to take a brush with black and just drag around the mask. Okay. In this case, when I go to my brush, look at how big it is, because the last time I used this brush is a normal size brush, but that tool was left. Tools are always left in the last way you use them. And the last way I used them was this humongous. So now I'm going to go minus, 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 minus to bring it back to normal. And I want you guys to tell me if the area that I want to go back to green is this, what color ink should I use on my mask?
White.
Okay. All right, I'm hearing white and I'm hearing black. All right, so not to make anyone right or wrong, let me think it through. If on my mask, this area is now white, see that little bit? And here, let me click again. That area is white, okay? And I can see it a tiny bit there. That means it's being affected by the hue saturation layer. It's making it blue, but I want it to not be blue. I want it to go back to being green. I'm not changing it to another color. I want it back to being its original color. So then if I see white over here, basically I need to choose the opposite color, which is black, to eliminate this effect. If I have black, I need to paint white. If I have white, I want to paint black. So I'm going to go over here and switch this, which I do using the X key, but I'm going to switch to black. And watch, I'm going to basically not do it. I'm just doing it here for you guys to see what I'm doing. I'm doing this, right? So now undo that. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to paint white over the black. And if I look over here, when I'm done, see how now I have black in that area? I have painted white over my black. So this area has gone back to being the original color. Does that make sense? So if I turn this off with the option, yep, it's all black. I had managed to undo that. Okay. And normally we don't go to the mask. This is me just teaching you what's happening. We don't normally go to the mask. Just going to the mask for you to be aware what's happening. Because the problem with doing it here is that you don't know where to paint, because you don't know where the ends of things are, and that's why we paint over here. But I'm basically painting black over white. If now I was to switch again from black paint to white paint, and I was to paint here again, guess what I'd get? I'd get blue again. Yeah. But then if I go too far and I keep painting over here, turns out that my yellow being affected by this mask is turning bright green, and I didn't want that. So how do I fix that? If I went too far, guys, so watch. If I went too far, and this shouldn't have happened, how do I fix that? Well, option Z, is it option minus? No, not option minus. If this was supposed to go back to being green, but this was not, I have to paint black again.
Even black.
How do I paint black again? X key and paint black again. Right? So now I'm going to do that over here. If I went overboard, and now I just need to paint black over again to stop that effect. And then I went too far, and now I need to switch back to black, and in black I paint blue again. Does that make sense? I'm going black or blue according to whether I want the effect to happen or not happen. Black or white, in order to get this to be a color or not a color. Go ahead and play around with that. Make this be back to green and then back to blue. And what it's going to take is basically we're painting above, like I did it wrong. How to fix it? By going back and painting it in black again. But see, I can't see the outline of my wall. So this is why I can't really fix it here. I can kind of figure out what color I need to go, but I can't fix it here because I don't know where the wall ends. So that's why we paint it over here. And this is where we go, okay, this is the edge of where I need to change. All right. So go back and forth on that a few times and do it on another part. Now, painting, we won't get such a good edge as we did with the selection, but it doesn't matter. Right now, it's about understanding how powerful painting black or painting white in our masks can be, okay? That's all I'm trying to teach you. So it's okay if your mask isn't perfect. Yes, and then let me clear your answers. And I know Colette has a question, but once you get it, when it's working, give me a yes. Yes, Colette?
I have, I'm switching back and forth, but when I'm in the white brush, I can make changes to my mask here. But when I click onto the black brush, it's not making the changes
Right,
to my
share your
mask.
screen. Let's see what's happening. Maybe it's not the right brush, or maybe something else is happening.
Let's see here.
Are you on a PC?
Give me a yes if it's working. Give me a no if it's not working, or if you have a particular question, you can also raise your hand like Tatiana's doing, and I'll answer in order.
How am I going to share here? Let's see.
Share and then share again.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, share. No, I'm not in share. I need to go to Zoom to share. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
There we go. Okay, so let me close that. Okay, so you see here in this wall where
Your brush right now is using black. So if you paint with your brush right now, what you're saying is that
nothing's happening.
okay. Let me look at your opacity. Oh, you have something turned on here that you okay. So over here you have something that says I'm trying to find my pencil. 1 second. Here. You have this on exclusion mode. I don't know how I got there. Can you change that? Go to
What's
this.
that? Oh,
here.
oh, I see.
That it should say normal, go all the way to the top. Going up.
Oh, I see.
say
Okay.
normal. So I don't know how that changed, but there we go. Now try to paint and now it's
So,
working.
okay,
Now
gotcha.
it's working. So I don't know when that changed, but yeah, these things make a big difference because they're blending modes and other stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so it's working now.
Now it's working just fine.
Great. Stop your
Thank you.
share. Tatiana, everyone, screenshots, please, and post them in the Padlet. I'm gonna give you the Padlet again. Oh, how do you guys use the Padlet here, by the way? So bizarre. I know. Okay, Tatiana, can you tell me what's up or share your screen?
I will share because something wrong with my brush. I don't know. When I did mask, you can see only this works. Then it doesn't work again, but I didn't change anything.
Sorry, I was approving posts and I was changing the settings for the copyboard. So tell me, I apologize. I was paying only half attention. So tell me again what the problem is. Now I'm all
So-
on.
I did mask and only this part of wall was in
Oh, okay, I
mask.
see. Now you
But
can't.
here is something wrong with my brush.
Yeah, so you're in a, yeah, you're trying to paint in an area. Here, let me move this out of the way. You're in your selection tool. You're not in the brush tool. The brush tool is this one. So if you're trying to, so instead of just brushing, you are actually selecting. So go ahead and say deselect to start with. There we go. And now it's this brush. You were in this one. So now you need to go to that one. Okay. So now you're in the right brush tool. Okay. No. This is the right brush tool. The bottom one.
Uh-huh.
That's the right brush tool. Okay. Now you can go to your mask and you can start painting black or white.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead. No, but do it. Let's see.
Mm,
You got white. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
thank you.
And now, since you got a little bit of a green effect over there, you might want to switch to black.
Why I can see when I oh
What's
what
that?
happened?
I don't know because your whole thing just disappeared. So hold on. Hit,
I just
yeah, so go ahead and hit escape key. Your escape key is your top left key of your keyboard. No. Don't go to
escape,
the bottom left.
yes.
Escape.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. When
Okay.
I push this one, it's
That one shouldn't do anything. You probably clicked on something else.
because
That is only that's just selecting it, so that's not an issue. Now you have a brush. Now the
Mhm.
brush should be changed to black. And now paint over that area. Let me undo my stuff. Okay, so what's happening, guys? Can everyone pay attention to what's happening to Tatiana? See how she's trying to make a line there, but she keeps having like this flared
because
edge?
it's too big.
Yeah, her brush is not so much too big, it's too soft. No, it's not about size. It's
Mhm.
about how soft it is. It's a big fluffy brush. So you need to bring it maybe to about, I don't know, 70% or something like that. About yay-ish. Yeah. And now when you go across that line, you'll be able to keep it within one side or the other. Now your brush is changed again. I
Oh.
don't know where. No, go back over here. You have a different, go back over here. You go
How
back up.
can I
Your
undo?
mouse is the wrong size, shape. Go back up here to where you just changed size, hardness. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like you got, you know, your brush is in the wrong It's got this shape of insertion. It's not the shape of a brush. Trying to figure out. Okay, move your brush out here for a second. Just move your brush out. Does it look like a brush now?
Oh,
Oh.
it's no brush.
Still doesn't look like a brush. So if you're stuck, you're in, you know what I mean? Your mouse isn't looking like a circle. It's looking like something else. Okay, just leave this, trust me, leave it up here, around 75%. It's too soft, you're not gonna get a good line there. Okay, and now drag across this. There you go. And now switch to black and drag across there. No, black.
Black.
No, you want to not have color in that area. Try a little bit closer. There. So it's the tip of your mouse that works. Do you have perchance, you should be seeing a circle. I'm wondering why you're not seeing a circle. You're seeing an arrow. Do you have
I
a
have-
the caps lock turned on or something? No.
Caps lock. Ah, yeah.
Yeah, turn it off.
I turn.
You
turn
don't,
it off.
okay. Then I don't know, for some reason your mouse isn't looking around, so you need to be more careful because you don't really know where it's going, you know what I mean? So you need to just visualize. Yeah, it's something.
It looks
strange
like
about-
she's clicking, it's selected the brush instead of the other tool.
No, it's the right brush. But for some reason, you know how her brush, instead of looking like a circle, it's looking like this little line. And so it's hard for her to tell where to brush on if you don't see it. Maybe move away from that tool, click on another layer and come back and see if your brush comes back. Move away for a second, change to another tool for a minute. Oops. Turn the eyeball on again. So let's go over here and switch to this tool for a second, like up at the very top, the move tool. Move your mouse up here.
Up
Right.
here. Uh-huh.
Yeah, change the tool. So, and then go back to the brush tool.
How can?
No. Go back to the brush tool. That's enough. I just wanted you to switch tool. Okay, now move your mouse in here. Let's see what it looks like. It shouldn't look like that. But anyway, move your mouse down and see if now it'll help you. But your line is pretty clean now. Oh, no, you turned off the eyeball on your stuff. That's why. Here, stop for a minute. Everyone pay attention to what's happening. This is really important. Look what happened. Oh. Turn that eyeball on. Stop for a minute. Don't fix anything. And everyone look, it's a teaching moment. Please watch. She's going back and forth trying different stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the layer that she has turned on right now. And she went with her paintbrush and painted with the white ink. But what's happening is she wasn't in her mask. She was selecting her layer. So now she's painting white. It's like white graffiti on a wall. She's painted white paint on the wall, literally, okay? So the only solution to this right now is to undo that. So go to your history. And let's go back up to like layer visibility. So you undo these brushes. Yeah, like that. See how it's not painted white anymore? That brush was bad. And now let's be careful always to always have your mask selected when you work with a white and black brush. Otherwise you end up making graffiti on your computer. So turn on the eyeball. Over here on your layers. Turn on your eyeball. And on the eyeball. Perfect. And then, yes, you already selected your mask. And then you can keep painting white and black. Because otherwise you basically got a paintbrush. It's like you're going to your wall and slapping some paint on it, okay? So you can only slap paint on the mask, never on your pixels. Okay? All right, It's working now. I don't know why the shape of your tool is so different, but at least it's working. Now you're in, no, don't change the density. Just paint.
It's
So look at-
white.
yeah,
I
let's-
so I need black.
Yeah, if you never know what to paint, when people say, which color should I use? I always say, look at your mask. And if your mask, the right color
Uh-huh.
is blue and you want blue, well, the blue is mainly white. So it means you need white paint to turn this back into blue. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Some people have all these mnemonics, how to remember it. I just say, look at your mask. If what I want is that area to be blue and my mask, that area is white, that means you need white paint. So you need to go down here and get white paint. Right now you have black paint on. See how you have black paint on?
Mm-hmm.
Tatiana,
Yeah.
black paint on. So you need to go back to white paint instead. Good. Now you can drag across that. Perfect. Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Thank
Alright.
you.
Cool. Let me stop your share. Guys, I have run roughshod over your guys's break. Hopefully you've been posting in the Padlet. I'm looking and seeing 3 or 4 Padlet postings, so that's good. I love it because I've been helping people, so I haven't had a chance to post, but you guys have been posting, so that's good. All right, let's take our break and let's make it short. I'm sorry, I left it so late. Class really finishes in half an hour. Can we take a quick little, just 5 minute in case people need to run and come back? Yeah, little 5 minute. Okay, so it's 7:18, 23. Let's be back at 7:24. 5.5 minutes. Okay, see you guys at 7:24. All right. I'm gonna leave everything turned on and I'm just gonna go into the restroom and back. And hopefully 4 minutes is enough. Mm. What's that? No, these haven't been used. No. Oh, oh, well, we can't do anything about that yet. Oh. Oh, I think I left them. This is a brand new room and there's nary a student has gone on that side yet. So for now, temporarily, it's.
I come from a 2-hour mosaic class for this. Huh? Yes, I got a little bit. I spend 2 hours moving today.
All right. There's no buts. Because this is so clean, just stand by the door. All right, 7:24. Did we say 7:24, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness, and normally I write it down, but I didn't write it down this time, so. I know it was short, but if you guys can hear me at home, please head on back. Yeah, that's good. No, I mean, you're using a completely different tool, but at first it's kind of which side, but yeah, so, let me just bring it for a second and show it. My dad used to use this mouse, and Sue was showing me the other day that she was having an issue with holding the mouse correctly. She has a tremor in her hand. And I asked her, well, consider one of these guys, which are called track balls. So you basically put your hand on it and leave it there so you don't move your hand around. And then you move your mouse around with this. And so for arthritis, or she says there's this called essential tremors or whatever, it's really useful. And then it's right click, left click like before. But this is what moves the mouse. And for a lot of people who have a hard time with their hands, so she's getting accustomed to it because like every new tool, it's a bit different, but I just thought I'd show it there because I remember my dad used this and it made such a difference to him. So that it seems to be. Okay, all right, so is everyone back? Oh, Tatiana is gone. But everyone else is here. All right, good.
Diane, I'm going to take off too.
Okay,
Sam.
Samuel.
Okay, I'll catch up with the last few minutes on my own.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
there's only a little bit left.
Diana,
Yes.
it's just like, I don't know, I put it on like my image on Zoom and I'm clicking on the like zoom out and it's not obeying.
Okay, go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
Photoshop isn't obeying. What's up with Photoshop, you guys? Sit, heel, jump, stay. Okay, so yeah. So whoops.
So I was trying to click here, but it's
Okay, so that's not a good idea to zoom in and out. And of course, you haven't caught up with this, but yeah. If you click down, technically it should be working to go down right now. But my recommendation is to just use your shortcuts. And I have been mentioning it, but I forgot to mention it to you because you weren't here. So you are on Mac, but you are on VDI. And on VDI, it's a PC computer. So whenever I say command plus command minus for a Mac, You have to do control minus control plus because you're on a PC on the school computer. So try doing control and then do minus, minus, hold down the control key and then tap your minus a few times.
Woohoo.
Got it?
Okay.
So I completely forgot to mention.
That's why I was trying command minus because
Yeah,
I'm
and before
okay.
when I was at command click or whatever for people who are Mac people on VDI, your commands are you need to listen to the control.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I haven't looked yet on the Padlet, but I don't.
I'm struggling also
Yeah.
here.
So if you can hang out a little bit after class and not leave not leave immediately, then I can help you a bit with getting the stuff. into
Okay,
Padlet,
thank
okay?
you.
But I don't make everyone wait for that portion.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So thanks for mentioning that, or I wouldn't have been able to. You wouldn't have heard. I wouldn't have known unless you mentioned that. So good point. All right. Okay, let me share my screen again. And here we go. All right, so that was some basic masking information, but that it never hurts for all of us to remember again. The whole back and forth with gray, with black and white. But now let me show you two ways to get semi-transparency on a mask. Okay, so we're going to still use this example, and I'm going to still have the same brush, and watch if I paint, forget the white. The white doesn't change color much, right? So that's why I ignore anything I have is there. Just keep focusing on color. At most, this yellow will change color and the blue will change color, right? And or this orange will change color, but white is very hard to change color. Over here, there's enough tone that it would change a little bit, but it's not white. But for the most part, anything back there, don't bother. With hue saturation, it won't change color. It changes a color, and since white is lack of color, so to say, or it's overblown, you can't change it. And the same thing with black. Black doesn't change much because it's got no color. But black and white don't get affected by hue saturation. Anyway, so here we are. We have full black or full white. Once again, click Option or Alt and mask, and as you can see, it's full black and full white. Watch, don't do this. This is demo. Demo. There's two ways to get the transparency. The first one I'm going to show you is literally going over here to where it says opacity and making my brush be, and I'm going to go just with 50%-ish. There we go, 50% as opaque. So watch. I've got, if I'm going to paint with black over here or with white over here, I have to go over the thing that'll paint. So if I'm going to paint over black, I need to paint with white, right? If I were to do the example over here, I would do the other one. I would have to paint with black. So I'm going to go with black and paint over here with 50% opacity. So watch what's going to happen. Gray is coming out. You see that? That's one way for gray to come out. Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to say 75% opacity. So it's a bit darker gray, or I'm going to go ahead and say 25% opacity. So it's a lighter gray. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to go back to 100% for a second, and let me show you the effect of these grays. So just this is demo, so please don't do it. When I go to the back, and green has come back in a larger or lesser measure. This one down there was 75%. So it was like very light gray, and this one was 50%, no, almost 50%, and that was 75%. Does that make sense? So some of it came back, middle, and nothing. When I go back to it, there we go. Most of this came back because it's almost black. Half of that came back and almost nothing came back because it's almost white. Does that make sense? So what I did that by controlling the flow of ink, so to say, the opacity of my ink. The other way to do that, which is a bit of a harder, would be to change my ink by clicking on the ink, which I always tell you not to do. But you could go over here and choose a middle gray, right? So if you don't remember how to use this term, this is black, this is white, and somewhere in the middle is middle-ish gray. I'll say okay, So basically now I'm painting with metallish gray. See how over there, there's no black anymore? There's gray. Or click on it again and choose a very light gray over there. And now I'm painting with a very light gray. Or click there one more time and choose a very dark gray. And there I'm choosing with a very dark gray. Does that make sense? So it's the same effect to go opacity or to choose grays. When I go and see my mask, you can see most that dark gray, most of the green came back. The other one, here, let me point. That was 50%, that was almost none, and that was all. So you're making a different levels of grays give us different levels of transparency into our choices. Does that make sense? Now, it's your choice which solution you go for when you want grays. If you use these colors and change your colors to a different tone, the way to get back to pure black and white is clicking on that tiny little icon right there. Click, and then you get back to pure black and white. Because you kind of want to be always in pure black and white by default, if not, okay? So that's pure black and white. I kind of prefer to use the opacity. I also use a stylus at home instead of a mouse, and I just, depending on how much I press it down or not, I get pure black or gray or whatever, kind of like if I was using a pencil brush. So there's different ways of getting those choices to happen. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you for a second what happens with this. This is what happened a little bit to Tatiana. Oh, here's Tatiana again. What was happening to the brushes? So when you choose a brush that's very, very hard brush. Now I'm going to paint with white over the black area. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to change the color. I just wanted to show you why. And I choose a very hard brush. That's a very straight line. When I choose an extremely soft brush, that's a very fuzzy line. And that fuzzy line is made up of, tones of gray. You see that? Tones of gray. It goes from black to white and tones of gray. So what's happening is the gentle transition from one color to another, which for this image, we really don't want gentle transitions. Remember when Tatiana was trying to brush her wall and she kept getting either a bit of blue on the other side or a bit of green on this side, because that wall had a pretty straight line that was either green or not. Remember that? That's because her brush was soft. So in this case, we probably wouldn't want a brush soft. Now, however big your brush is, it makes a difference for how soft it is, because 100% or 0% hard, so no hardness on the 30 pixel brush is a bit of fuzziness. But watch, if I had a bigger brush, proportionally, it gives me a much longer area of transition, which was black and white. You see that? So when you want to do something that's really gentle, like clouds or sky, you want to use a big brush with a very fuzzy area, and then you can change something gradually. So based on this example, let me go back to Bridge. Let me show you a different image that we're going to work on. And which is the one that I was going to have us use. I believe it's this one, yeah. So it's called Flower Path Dehaze. So let's go to Bridge, guys, and open Flower Path Dehaze. It's next to a bunch of houses. And double click on that one to open it up. So the thing about this image is that we don't have the straight lines that we had before. Here in the citrus, these are pretty specific lines. In this Morocco one image here too, these are pretty specific lines that you need to be marking if you want to change the color. But in this one, there's less of a specific thing, right? So say that I wanted to make the flowers a different color. Yeah? So watch what I'm gonna do. I'm going to, and I'm gonna do, this is the last way to showing you how to do a mask. Of all the ways I've shown you how to do a mask, I've shown you 4 different ways to do a mask. This is the final way, which I did work on this on Friday, but for those of you who haven't been on Friday, I'm gonna first make a global mask, and then I'm gonna invert it. So watch, I'm gonna click on, I'm gonna go to hue saturation. I keep showing the same one because it's so easy to see a change in color, but all of these work the same, okay, as far as masking and whatever. But I'm gonna click on hue saturation. I'm going to now, keeping an eye just on the yellow of the flowers, I'm going to change this until I get a color of flower that I like. So in this case, and by the way, so there, my flowers are orange-ish now. I'm just clearly not yellow, right? But everything else has changed color as well. Does that make sense? Because it's a global change. A bit redder. Yeah? Good with that? But the green is still greenish, so that's okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, okay, this is the colors before, this is the colors now. Now I want this to apply only to a certain area. So I'm going to first invert this mask. Just watch, I'm gonna demo and then I'm gonna do the whole thing again. Command I inverts the mask, and now the entire mask went black. So what does this mean? None of my image is benefiting from my changing. Does that make sense? None of my image changed. It's the effect is there, but the whole thing has been masked out. It's all black. So now I'm going to go to my brush. I'm going to choose my white ink because if everything's black, I need to paint with white, and there it is. And I'm going to choose a very soft brush, so 0% hardness. I'm going to go pretty big on my brush-ish so that it's very soft or softish. And now I'm going to just gently paint over this stuff so that it's affecting a general area. I don't need perfect lines. Does that make sense? And I'm going to do the same thing right back there. There's no specific, just over that ish area. Okay. So now when I turn this on or off, right? If I look at my mask, I should probably have, since it's not such a big image, I don't have such a, but see how it's a soft transition versus if I had had a hard brush. Then that's what the line would have been like. Okay. But with a soft brush, I was able to just apply. This would not have worked on that green wall, right? Where it would have been a fuzzy edge, but it's a soft brush on a fuzzy thing. That's okay. All right. I can go back, and more than the green, more than the yellow flowers, which were areas that are specific, and it's also changing, you know, kind of the green that's underneath it. What if I just wanted to darken a little bit of the sky? So watch, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use a levels. So this is another adjustment area. I'll just do a couple of these and then I'll do it together. Now I made a levels version. So levels is a tool that's going to allow me to make things darker or lighter. Okay. So say that I want my sky to look darker. So say that I make it a bit darker like that. Now that might be too dark for everything else, right? So I invalidate it by doing an inverse of the mask. And now I will get a really big brush and I will give it 50% opacity. And I will I'm back to a hard brush, hold on. To get a 0% hardness. And then I will gently, slowly begin to paint in that effect. See what's happening? I'm gently giving that effect in. And so let me show you, I'm going to undo all that, and I'm going to show it to you again on the mask. When I have a 50% brush, and it's really big like that, and I pass it one time, that's what I get. When I pass it another time, that's what I get. But pay attention, what happens when I overlap? That's, okay, let me make it 50% so I can do numbers that are more exact. If that's a 50% brush, okay? If I click on it one time, let me just do something here. Click on it one time. In the middle of this brush, right there, there's 50%. Then it slowly becomes not affecting it at all. Now watch what, I'm gonna overlap it and do this. Okay, so I just went overlapping. What happened is that this stayed 50, this stayed 50, this stayed 50, and this 50 plus 50 is 100. So here I have actual white. These brushes, when they overlap each other, okay, so now let me make this a bit easier to understand. That was 50% kind of happens so quickly, it's hard to tell. Let me do this one more time. Oh, let me click on the mask. Here we go. Let me go, instead of 50%, let me go with 25%. About yeah. Okay, so here we go. 25%. I'm just doing different lines of 25%, right? 25%, 25%, they're all identical. Look what happens when I go over 25% again. That's 50. And I go over it one more time. 75 over and one more time, I got to white. Does that make sense? So if I go like that, and the ones that get more, so basically when you keep brushing over a place, so watch. If I keep brushing over something, let me go back to this. If I brush one time, and I haven't raised my mouse, and I keep brushing, I'm still at 50%. I'm brushing, I have not raised my mouse. Once boom, I've raised my mouse is not on again. When I go again, now that's an overlap. Does that make sense? I now unclicked and I go again, that's my 75%. I unclick, and when I go again, I'm at 100%. So that's a gradient. Does that make sense? So when I just click and drag back and forth, nothing happens. It's the letting go and again, and letting go and again, and letting go and again, and letting go and again. That's when it all adds up. Okay. So you can make a gentle transition by going over again and again certain areas, and only a little bit on other areas. When you want a little bit of the effect, but when you want more of the effect, you just kind of keep going at it on that area. And you so slowly you've built up a transparency in your mask. I'm going to go ahead and undo all of that, and now we can do it together. Okay, so you're all with me? I'm going to get rid of, I think I only showed you this one, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Let's do the levels one. I got rid of my saturation masks, and now let's go ahead and go and meet a hue. Instead of a hue saturation mask, let's go to a levels mask. We only have a few more minutes to go, but let's click on levels. Give me a yes if you're all following me up until now. You make yourself a levels mask. Now, in case you're not seeing the levels too well, you might need to go up or down a little bit. But I need you to see these three little triangles that are under this little mountain. And what's happening is that this image is telling me that I have a lot of pixels that are middle toned, very few pixels that are black. This is black pixels, these are white pixels. Very few pixels that are white, a lot of middle tone. So it's a very beigey, flat image. So I can move this middle tone back and forth to make my middle tones darker or lighter, okay? The middle point is white, or I can move the black tones in to make them darker, or I can move my white ones in to make it lighter. So I'm just doing that. But right now, the most important one that I want right now is for us to see a real difference is to grab my black point and move it in a little bit to when we start seeing some pixels right there. And then I'm going to move this one over, the middle one, and move it over to the right until it's kind of like the majority of my pixels. I'm putting that over there. See how the image that was very hazy is getting kind of punchy now? It was a very hazy kind of image, and now it's getting some good contrast. Yeah. Okay, so we got some nice contrast there. So that's good, and it's affecting our entire image. Now, what if I was hoping to have some of that sky look a little bit sunsetty, orangey, you know, orangey pinky, like sunsetty? Tatiana, you said no. How can I help? Unless this is a no from before.
I have no these options in this.
But when you say the saturation, these options?
Yeah.
Okay. The circle, are you in your yeah, in your layers, the circle choice? You don't have
Yeah,
this?
in the circle choice, and
What comes up? You don't see levels?
no.
Okay, so do this. Go up here. Do you see properties? Do you see adjustments?
Uh-huh.
Click on adjustments and then find levels over there. You may be in presets, go to single adjustments and then find levels. It's the same thing. You see it?
Mm,
I don't see it. I'm gonna have to ask you to share that
level,
screen.
level,
Okay, so hang in there. I'm gonna give people some work and then I'm gonna come back. Give me a second.
layers, no level.
Okay, so hang in there a little bit, Tatiana. Let me keep people
Mhm.
working and then I'll ask you to share your screen. Okay, is everyone with me? Yeah? So I want to do levels. I'm going to leave it affecting the whole image because I think the whole image looks better. See if I do that between that and this, I think the whole image is looking better now, right? Yeah. So I'm not going to mask any part of it out, but I want to add some color to the sky instead of to the flowers. I'm going to add some color to the sky. So I'm going to go down here to where I get my adjustment layers. And now I'm going to add some hue saturation. And looking at the sky, even though everything will change, I'm going to look at the sky and I'm going to move this back and forth until the sky gets me bright pink, which is ridiculous, right? Because skies shouldn't be bright pink. But now I'm going to slowly paint some of that bright pink in. Okay, so I'm just getting it a pretty, orangey, maybe that's more of a salmony color. That's what skies tend to go, kind of salmony color. But look at how crazy the rest of the photo looks now, yeah? We're almost done. So I gave some salmony colors to the sky, but now I gotta hide the effect from the whole image. So now I'm gonna do Command or Control for PCs or VDI, and then tap the letter I, and I've inverted that mask. Okay, so now I have a lot of pink sky here that I can pull into there by painting some white on this mask at different opacity levels. So I'm going to go, my brush is going to be at 25% opacity level or less. I kind of like painting in layers, so like 10% opacity level. And I'm going to start painting in with a bit of a smaller brush, some areas, a little bit of that pink to make it come in. You know how at sunset, some of the stuff ends up having some color, but not all of it. And then some areas you see, you know how you see in the bar in the back, there's one area that goes really pink and others are just beginning to change. Does that make sense? So what am I doing here? I'm painting with 10%, which is very gentle. And I'm just moving it around and clicking differently. So some parts, more of it is coming in, and some parts it's not. And don't forget that white clouds won't change. It's just the blue part of it. Does that make sense? What we're doing? We're slowly painting in some color into that sky. And we need to be consistent in what parts we go to, right? And so I'm going to just give it a bit up here because it's sunset, so everything's a bit pinkish. Everything gets a little bit pinkish. But then some areas get a lot more pinkish than others, you know, how that kind of works with skies. Does that make sense? Sky looks like a t-shirt. And usually it's more down at the bottom that it gets really intense. So I'm going to go ahead and give it more intensity at the bottom. So right now we're making it ourselves, so we might not believe it too much, but you want to keep an eye on the gradients, like what part is going really intensely red and what is not. And then if it's, you think in some parts you got it too much, you go back and you change it. So I go back over here. This is what I'm doing, which is actually, I should have had a bigger brush so it wouldn't be so lining, but anyway. So if I think I made it too pink over here, I just need to switch back to black at 25% and slowly cover it again so it's not so intense in that area. Does that make sense? Or the other way around. I wanted to make it brighter, so I switch back to white and I make that area whiter. Does that make sense? But again, you kind of have to be looking at the image. You can't necessarily be in this mode where you don't see it. But that's what's happening by going over and over and over and over. I'm making one area show more of the pink than another. And if I switch to black and I go over that area over and over and over, then I'm making less of that area show pink than another. Does that make sense? Now, when I say, does that make sense? And I get like blank faces, I feel a bit like, oh, what am I doing? But it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay. So again, right now I'm doing it blindly. I don't know when I go back what it's going to look like. But I'm trying to show you here how when I overlap, the area over here, unless it's a white cloud area, should be bright pink, right? Because I'm letting a lot of that effect in. And then if it's too much, I switch back to black and I go over and over and over and over, and I'm going back to leaving only a little bit through in that area, or none of it if I go enough times that it's black, yeah? So now, since I've done all this blindly, I have no idea what happened to my, okay. So it looks like I have some I would probably want to start again because I've made so many holes in it that you can bring. And then the good news is that what if you really don't like the color of orange or whatever that you chose for the sky, you can go back to the levels and say, well, I would rather it be greener or yellower or bluer. See, because the color is still able to be changed, which of course in the sense it wouldn't make sense to change that color too much. I could make it bluer and make it more intense in certain areas. That could be a change. But other than that, we can just give it some colors. Now, this effect here is to show you how to mask. It's not necessarily too realistic because this light would be a little bit yellowish all over. If this were supposed to be sunset, you know what I mean? You'd get a bit more red or color on the things, but it's just showing you how to use graduated masks. You can also just use a gradient, which I'm going to go ahead and now I just killed everything I did, and I could go to gradients, and I could just make a little gradient over here where I'm letting some of it come in and some of it is not coming in into my mask. And if I look at my mask right now, I made a gradient to it. See there? I haven't showed you gradients much, that's what I should show in an Illustrator class, which by the way, my Illustrator class is starting this Friday, if anyone's interested. But basically, look at my mask. I just used a gradient tool. And so now when I look at it, it's just kind of going backwards. Now, of course, maybe it needs to be in the other direction, gradient, but whatever. So maybe now I've still got kind of gray on the top, and I'm beginning to get some orange in the bottom. Hi, class is finishing, oh, a minute ago. Okay. I teach until 8. Okay, and then I can go back in here and I can just, I have the parts that shouldn't be about. Okay, so now, let's, need to undo because I left it in blue flowers mode, which isn't very ideal, but hold on. Yeah, give me a little screenshot of your sky. And I kind of lost my color, so I guess mine is going to end up this way. 'Cause I inverted my mask and now my sky, my flowers are blue. But let's do a little post at the end. Oh, and one more thing. This is now a layered file. All of these files we've been working on, I forgot to have you save them. So when you're done with them and you try to save, every one of them, when you try to go and save and say Command S, Control S, or File Save, you will have to say okay to this and then save it as a PSD. Okay, and the one called Flower Path Dehaze Dash, I'm going to add masking with opacity or something like that. I'm going to call this one masking with opacity. And I'm going to save that one. And then this Morocco one, I'm going to say, well, this one I messed it up at the end with all the different things that I changed, but I'm going to say that this one was just Morocco or JPEG. It's going to be masking from a selection. Just to have it. And then the citrus was masking by hand, really. Masking by hand brush, so to say, because that's basically what we did. Okay. They are all now PSDs, Photoshop documents. They are layered files. They are not JPEGs anymore. Okay. If you go into Bridge, you should be able to see now next to the old citrus, they'll have the layered version. I'm going to start my share for a minute. Share
Diana, we should also save in PSD.
Yes.
Okay.
We're saving in PSD. So now next to my original citrus that was a JPEG, I have my colored one that's a PSD. And then next to my regular Morocco that was green, I have a PSD. And next to this flower path, I have mine turned out to have blue flowers because I inverted my mask at the end. But it's a PSD, okay? Because I didn't change the front of the name. I only changed the back of the name just so that they live together. So you can see the changes. Okay. If anyone needs help with the saving process, let me know. Other than that, I didn't post so much in Padlet today because I've been dealing with people's things happening. But anyway, I'm watching, I'm looking at you guys and your posts. And here we go. Look at Rebecca's sky. Okay. Anyway, try some of this stuff on your own. Oh, someone did graffiti. All right. Moni was here. Photoshop fun stuff. Okay. Homework as usual. Please try to apply some of this to your real files. That's my main goal. My most hope for goal is for you guys to do that. Oh, look, Ed posted another thing that he did, the camera raw filter, which is what we did last week. Oh, cool. He really made the fire, the sky look like it's on fire, huh? Cool. All right. Yes, Tatiana.
How to
Okay,
save?
hold on. Basically, class is over. I'm happy to stay to answer questions if you can stay, but those of you who need to leave, leave. I'm gonna help Tatiana or anyone who has questions, and I'm gonna tell see how to get to the class files and class recordings and stuff. But other than that, I will see you on Wednesday, and hopefully you have time to post something on the Padlet of the stuff we did today and the stuff that you're doing on your own images with masking. Okay. Those of you who are here, hold on, in person, you need to go to the Apple and say log out. So this is for Rebecca and Sue. Log out and then say yeah. So that, and then next week you need to sit on the same computer so that your files are all set and ready to go and you don't have to do anything. Next time you just sign in and everything is there. That's fine, but meaning your files are downloaded, everything, as long as you sit in that computer. Sit in another one, you'll have to do all the sign in again. So make sure to sit in that one. Okay? And if you need your number on in the roster, you can just put in the number of the computer you're sitting on. But since it's just you two, you're right plumb in the middle, you should be able to remember. Okay. All right. Yes, Tatiana, what's your question?
How to save? How can I
Okay,
save?
yeah, share your screen.
Oh, screen.
Okay. So I'm
I don't think we can hear you, Deanna. Nope. Unless I can't hear you.
I think maybe write on the chat that we can't hear her. Oh my God. Diana, can you hear us? It's weird. I think Tatiana
Her-
can hear her.
I can hear.
Her oh, you can hear, we can't hear. So the microphone dies after a little while. So it might have run out of batteries.
Oh,
Maybe.
you
So-
can hear her, Tatiana? No.
No, I can't.
So
Oh.
that I think it's the end of class and it's the batteries have burned out.
I understood. Thank you. Thank you.
We can't hear you.
Diana, thank you very much. But I can hear you. I see. Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Is she still talking?
No, no. I tried to. Oh my goodness. Okay. I will do everything, but yes.
It's not JPEG. Now she understands we can't hear her. We cannot hear you.
Where is our chat? Maybe we can.
I wrote her on the chat, but she's not. Were you able to save? Are you able to save your things, Tatiana?
I don't know.
But find out after you close
It's
it.
okay. I can watch the record and
Yeah.
try
Can
to
you hear
do
me
it.
now?
It's okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I had
Oh.
closed the other computer, but I forgot that that's where the audio is coming from, so. Okay,
It's
so
okay.
now I'll watch you from this one. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so close this last one. Yeah, they're all PSD, so now you can, I'm on a different computer, so now I need to. Okay, so now close that X there, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll do it by myself.
Before you
Okay.
go, wait, you need to disconnect from the drive.
Yeah, I know, but where is
How?
the
Yeah, so that's why I want to show you because
maybe here?
Paula has to see that too. This just close it up because this is just trying to teach you how to use the drive. That isn't really your drive. Go ahead and say
You're
quit.
so close. Quit.
Yeah, but that's just quitting from, there we go.
Here.
Here's what we need. Go here
Quit.
and click on that.
Okay.
Now, there we go.
And then
And then, hold
what
on.
next?
Then it's just that I'm trying to change the color of this thing.
Oh,
Okay, now go to the first thing you need to do, and Tatiana, Paula, this will be the same for you when you're done. You'll have to back out. The first thing you need to do is to close Google Drive. Then you need to quit the
computer.
computer. So you go over here. Hold on, in this computer, I was looking for the pencil. You go over here to the Windows icon on the dock down there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Click on that. Just click. Okay, and then you turn off the power of the
Yeah,
scoop. That's
yeah.
the VI computer, and you say shut down. Then when that's finished, so it'll tell you when it's over.
And
Then
here.
you go up there, yeah.
And log out.
And you say okay. And now you're clean.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Paula, go ahead and share your screen.
One second. Yeah, I feel there's a lot to catch up.
I don't expect you to catch up between Monday and Wednesday, but then maybe between Wednesday and Monday, you have more time to watch some stuff.
Okay.
All right, so now.
I'm not even gonna save this. I wasn't able to do it.
Well, you do have some layers there if you want to play with it later. If you don't save it, you lose it all, but your choice, yeah.
No, I'm just not gonna.
Okay, so then say no to that one.
Yeah, this one I want to save, so.
Okay, so when you it as, and you're in the right spot, so yeah.
PSD.
Say save. Although you normally don't need it, right? PSC, the computer puts it in there for you. So say, yeah,
Oh,
say okay, that's okay. Okay, close that. And then that one as well.
so just citrus?
Just say citrus and say save, and you'll have one citrus JPEG and one citrus PSD.
Okay.
Okay, then you can close.
Here?
Yep. And the same thing with, yeah. The same thing with bridge, you close it up here. Oh, you have bridge, hold on, your bridge is in a weird, hold on, don't close bridge yet.
Oi.
Oh, too late. Okay, close this. Close that. Okay, and now turn off the computer there. Oh, wait, we need we needed to sign out of Google Drive, forgot. You have to search for Google Drive, yeah. But normally it would have been here, but it's not, so it's weird. Yeah, there. Okay, so go up there. Wait. Close this. Close that. Yeah, go up here. Wait. Disconnect account. There we go. Disconnect. That's better than quit. Yeah. Okay. Now go here and turn off. Yeah, there we go. Shut down. Perfect. And then after it's been shut down, say okay. Good. Now you go over here.
There are a lot of
and you
steps.
Log out. Cool. All right. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Wait. No, I need to show you the class handouts and files so you can do recordings. So, go ahead and sign in. Yeah, sign in and can show you the class handout. So this is SBCC, so that's good. Go ahead and log
I
in.
think I found it.
Now, since you have two-factor authentication, you have to put in the
Wait.
code from your phone.
Oh no, this is my personal. I think I was.
What I'm gonna tell you right
That's good. Just
now is how
you
to.
were there. You were fine. Go there. You just always, you haven't been in there
Sorry.
for a while, so it's gonna ask you to sign in each time now.
Okay.
Unfortunately, by using VI, now each time you're gonna have to do this.
I will buy the program. It's just like I when I was watching the video, it said it takes time.
Yeah, it takes like a week. at least.
Yeah, so like,
Oh, this was,
oh my God.
it was my mistake. I had you come in again. Go ahead and close this. It's okay. I don't, yeah. You had, go anywhere else and do my.sbcc.edu.
Log in, I think, right?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
okay, so now go over here on the left side, go to Gmail. And then over here, go to Drive. And then go to Shared Drives.
Okay.
And then double click. Okay. So, no, stop there, scroll up again. Okay, the top one here, the Zoom class recording links for the Hyflex Photoshop, that's this class.
Okay.
And then if you scroll down a bit, you'll see the recordings for last
Wow,
classes.
amazing. Okay.
And today, by tomorrow, there'll be another link in here for today's class.
Okay.
Okay, and then here's the Padlet if you do any work in between as homework. And then here's a survey that you need to fill in.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Nice to
Bye
meet
bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where are you from?
Brazil.
That's so, because I'm from Argentina, just so Argentina.
Ah,
I have,
hola.
hola. Okay.
Okay, a ver.
Here, bye.
Gracias.
De
Buenas
nada, igual.
noches. Chao.